don't like my style, go ahead and give me one mic. Everybody's got excuses, but you got one life to live, one life to give, one moment, one opportunity. Boy, that's it, and it's all said and done. When the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you just go ahead and run. Cause opinions are like assholes, everybody has one. They're being constructive or they jealous of the outcome. It's not about the times you fail, it's about the times you got up. And I don't even care what the fuck your excuses is. Fact is, you just playing the cards of foolishness. What you think I'm dubious, you gotta get up, get going and just move on. Don't look towards the past, you gotta groove on. You procrastinating now, you gotta get that motivation. I already created a track called Inspiration. Gotta get up, get going and get fucking hype. Go ahead kid, go ahead and live your life with no regrets, no regard all the fucking time. Cause I'm telling you, if you keep going, you go on. End up in the same spot you've been in all your fucking life now. Tell me now who's winning. Opinions are like assholes, everybody.
Welcome everybody to Sunday Slam. I am Big Red. I'm with Get Crazy and JLB, which we don't see, but he is here.
I'm here. I'm here. I swear I'm here.
He's here.
It's not a recording.
It's not a recording.
It's not the computer GM on Raw. It's actually JLB.
I mean, I could be the mystery GM on Raw. They do some pretty shitty creative, so I could very well be the GM on Raw next week.
Another big
so
week
guys,
in wrestling.
Yeah, not long. I guess because there was just so much as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty exhausted, and I still haven't watched Supercard of Honor or the Multiverse Impact and the other random other indie shows that happened. I didn't watch Bloodsport, like so much, yet I still haven't watched the extra of it all. So gotta get on that.
Yeah, so much wrestling on WrestleMania week and weekend that can't just watch everything. You know, we don't have time for that, all that stuff.
No, ain't nobody got time for that, unless Meltzer, Meltzer has time.
Yeah. Unless you're being paid good amount of money to watch all these things. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, he's been doing it for 40 years, so pretty sure when he started, not necessarily getting paid for it, but then, he created a following.
Yep. To his credit, yes, he sure did.
So, guys, night 1 or night 2? Which one was better?
Night 1.
I would have to go night 1 also.
Yeah, I would say.
I think it's the fact. It's the fact that night 1, it's the first one. It's you have that WrestleMania feel, and then the second night there's always a little downfall in the buzz. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but even if you go match by match, I would still go pick night 1.
Yeah, that's it. I think night 1 just overall had better matches in terms of there was more than 2 good matches. We had Bianca, Becky, we had Cody, Seth. And I guess that's it, really, right? Like, the Sammy. No, Sammy was the Sunday, technically.
Yeah, Sammy, it was night 2. Yeah,
I think that's when I was actually entertained. I was actually entertained with Sammy.
Yeah, same here. I thought it was perfect for what it was supposed to be, and they did it tremendously well. Thank God the other Jackass characters were there, because that really helped out with it.
It was a fun match. I'm very well. I guess people can call me a purist in wrestling, and but I'm also open-minded, and I had fun watching that match. I would go, let me just have fun and like let go of the psychology of it and all these wrestling terms, and just watch it and have fun. And I had fun watching it. So,
right, I agree 100%.
And Sammy apparently had really a good time performing it. So.
That's it. He had mentioned that it was probably one of his highlights of his career.
Mm-hmm.
We had seen that it was Hurricane Helms. What's up with that? Who had produced it.
Mm-hmm.
So he thanked everybody, did like a whole thank you, one of my highlights of my career. So that's dope. You know what I mean? And That's why I love people like Sammy and KO. They'll take any storyline you give them, no problem, but they'll try to make it work.
Yeah.
And that's been working for Sammy for the longest time, even with the whole IC thing, his ego trip, when the whole conspiracy thing. Um, he's done what he can with it, and I think he's he's always entertaining, and no matter what, and I think that's why they like them,
Yeah.
because they don't pull a grudge or anything. They just go with the flow and try to make a best out of a bad situation. You know what I mean? And that's what I guess you got to do as an employee, right? So
Yep. These are the guys. These KO and Sammy types are the guys that you give them the pass and they'll take the ball for the touchdown. So no matter
That's
if it's a bad pass or not. So congrats to both of them for getting their WrestleMania moments and being two highlights of the weekend. So pretty good. And that wee man power bomb, body slam.
Power the body slam. Yeah.
That was
That was
hilarious.
a bit of that Andre the Giant feel there a bit, and,
I-
and the pop.
I think
and the
that
pop
was. I
great.
think that was the point. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
tell
I
my
think-
kids that was Andre the Giant. And
Yeah, I saw that pass by too. Yeah, yeah, it was good. So we start off with Triple H officially leaving his boots in the middle of the ring. It was a nice pop. Also, him coming out and doing that. I guess I don't know who those. I guess it was his daughters and that were
Yeah,
in the front
those two
row. Then
daughters.
went to go.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a cool, cool moment. Maybe not a cool moment is not the right word, but it was nice of him to have some closure and be able to do it at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But having to retire because of heart problems or health issues, so at least he got that his little WrestleMania moment and got to leave his boots in the middle of the ring and officially retire from in-ring performances. So I thought,
nice touch.
yeah, it was a nice touch. Then we had maybe not the shittiest match in night two, but one of the less good matches was the RK Bro, the tag team title match. What were your thoughts on that match?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I was at the. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Go. It's on you.
I was not expecting nothing big,
Okay.
but to be honest, I would give it a 3.5 stars.
I guess there was some good spots, I guess.
Well, those RKOs.
Yeah. They always manage to find a good way to give an RKO out of nowhere in these big
Yeah.
matches.
That's his go-to. That's his thing.
But are you
I don't
surprised
know,
that they
man.
kept the belt?
I'm surprised they didn't turn.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
One of
Yeah.
them didn't turn on each other, and honestly, that's all I cared about. So I really didn't necessarily care for the match per se. Not that it was
Mhm.
bad, like it's great. It's just I don't care for the storyline that's happening here. I like your friendship, but I'm over it now. Someone
Mhm.
turn and let's get a feud going because
But they're gonna lose it.
Randy. I don't
They're
care.
gonna lose it very soon. Very soon.
I was very surprised they kept it.
Well, they're gonna anyway. If we saw SmackDown, we know what's gonna happen. So we're gonna get there, but
Oh yes, right, yes.
they're gonna lose it soon. Sooner
Yeah,
than
it looks like that's the way they're going. So I guess we were we all thought that maybe they weren't gonna go this route. And they're actually gonna go this route, looks like.
Okay, well,
The one-
let's not
one-
let's not talk in code. What happened on SmackDown?
You're right, actually. Well, the Reigns announced that they're taking
Usos.
over both brands. So he wants the Usos to win the Raw tag team titles also.
Right.
So you'll be seeing them on
okay.
Raw, and so I guess they are unifying the belts and unifying the brands, and have gonna be one roster. Looks like, I guess.
Oh, it's about time.
I'm 100% on board.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, I
scared
don't
that
know.
we're gonna see the same people and the same faces on Monday
We
and
see the
Friday
same
now.
faces at the same time either way.
Yeah, I
valid
guess.
point.
Especially Romans. Yeah, for Roman, you see them all the time, and Brock, you saw them on both shows. But I don't know. I guess some guys, if they do that also with the IC and the USA title, which I don't know if they will. They haven't mentioned that, but I don't know. Some guys are going to be losing some TV time. Well, I hope not. At least that's my fear.
Well, I think that the IC is going to stay on Raw and the US is going to stay on SmackDown.
So at least still have two different
Yeah.
for those belts. I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm in between this. Even though I go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's the thing though too. Like they already show the same people over and over again. So whether you have it unified or not, won't necessarily matter too much. I guess the only benefit about it being unified, you're gonna have a lot more people in the picture for that certain title. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's not like we're gonna have to pay attention to two tag team like things going on, and then because clearly creative can't multitask. We've established this for quite a long while now. Multitasking isn't their forte. They can't do it. So maybe if they have one championship to focus on, they could certainly do a lot more with it, add a lot more people into the picture. And we'll see. I mean, I have zero faith in WWE. Clearly, I was wrong about the Cody thing, but so there's the faith maybe a little up, but with their booking, in terms of their booking, no bueno. No bueno.
So you guys think there would be like type of two different rivalries going on? Like Roman will have a rivalry going on SmackDown, a rivalry going on Raw, or we would just do one program at a time?
I see a lot of like triple threat or 4-way or 5.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I see a lot of that person, whoever's feuding with Roman, going to that show. Maybe someone from a SmackDown side kind of interfering, and it's going to be a lot more like, all right, Raw versus SmackDown to face the champion kind of thing. For the pay-per-view or whatever have you, maybe just so like this, it gets maybe more ratings in that regard. The number one contendership to see who will face Roman Reigns at whatever WrestleMania Backlash or whatever, So I don't know. It could add some butts and seats, if you will, or some more eyes to the TV screen. I guess depending, obviously, on what the feud is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm done. There's too many titles. There was definitely too many titles from the get-go. So I'm kind of down for it to just be all unified. I don't mind having the IC and the US separate. I mean, not like I care about them now anyways, although my boy Ricochet has got the IC, I guess, right? Yes, it's the IC title. There's not doing anything with him, and Finn has the other one. But I mean, they're not doing anything, so we'll see what happens.
And they both didn't have a match at WrestleMania, so it shows how the WWE sees the importance of these two titles.
And which sucks because especially the IC at the time there was, if you have the IC, well, you're climbing the ladder. You're next online. Now it's you know what? Here's our title. And voila.
It's just what they call a mid-card title now. Yeah. It's no longer...
it's not even. It's a light heavyweight title from Heat from back in the day. Remember that? Like, it's a no-brainer title. It's nothing. It's if anything, they should have just had a unified match. Finn versus a Ricochet.
Yeah, that would have been better than what they did,
Yeah, so,
And Cody did mention on Raw, I know we're skipping a bit all over the place, but since we're talking about this subject.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Sunday. Cody did mention that he would like to bring back the big gold, and he would like to win it. So I don't know if that's just Cody with his creative control on his promos and just saying anything, or if that's actually a plan for the near or medium near future.
Well, I think they should bring all old titles back. Because all the new titles they have, they're all ugly, to my opinion. So,
and I don't think they're bringing it back because I think we had seen a picture on Twitter of the newer title being released.
Oh, the all gold one.
The all gold one. It's not the WCW gold one that we're all thinking of. I think it was just more talking like the big gold, as in the nostalgia title, but just more so that he's going to go after the world
the world
title
title.
sort of
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
The question is when, because we saw on Friday that looks like it's going to be Shinsuke who's going to be next online. So
I was surprised actually to see
Yeah.
that. I guess this whole thing with Boogs getting hurt through a hamper in the plans, I guess. So now they're throwing Shinsuke. I don't want to say to the wolves because I think they're
I
gonna.
think that was Philly. I think that was filler, to be honest with you. With the whole Usos kick and whatever. I don't know if Shinsuke is technically the next opponent. I'd be down for Shinsuke to be
Mhm.
the next opponent, but I don't necessarily know if that's gonna happen because the Usos were part of that tag team match, right? Where Boogs got hurt.
yeah,
It's true. Yep.
Right. So I just think that was just to kind of end that off. Like, we hurt your
Okay, that
friend,
would.
now we dominated you. Maybe I would love to see a match between them, but then Shinsuke's just gonna get dominated. But then again, what else is he doing? So
Exactly, because I read this on the internet, so this is not from my mind, but I completely agree with it. It's Shinsuke was on fire coming out of NXT. Well, even
Mhm.
in NXT, he was on fire. Great match
Yeah.
against Sami Zayn, went to win the title, and he was on fire. Wins the Royal Rumble. Um, he was on. He had all the momentum in the world. Then a face turn, and he was completely Philly filler. Here we go again.
I send you the link, Jeff, if you want to pop in.
Jeff, don't do it. He's just gonna do it out of spite now. Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought. Shit.
Yeah, one job, Jeff.
Shinsuke, you're saying
Oh yes, he was on fire, momentum, and then that face turn happened, and he lost all his momentum, and they couldn't find something relevant for him. So hopefully, if this is the case, and he will be in the title picture with a little program at Roman, obviously he's not going to win, but at least he could bring back some of that strong style, King of Strong style Shinsuke that we saw in the first year and a half in WWE.
Okay, but what if he does win? Because we saw Mania the way that match finished. I don't think it finished in the right way because it finished kind of weird.
Which match are you talking about? The tag team or the title match?
The Brock and the Roman, because we believe that Roman was injured.
Well, he was.
Oh.
He got hurt.
We got hurt. There you go. So maybe
Oh,
they're
he
finding
got hurt.
someone to.
Okay, I didn't see that one pass. So this has to be Nakamura's last chance. Jeff says, yeah. It's his time to shine. But I didn't know Roman got hurt.
Yeah.
Is it
'Cause,
injured or just a little sore?
His left arm looked like they said that his shoulder or he pulled a muscle.
It was
but really-
dislocated or something. Yeah.
Oh,
Because even if when he was in the stage, when he lifted both titles, if you look really carefully, if you put pause, the
mhm.
left shoulder is lower than the right when he lifts both.
Oh, okay.
There's pictures, definitely. Yeah, I'll get it for you. Hold on.
Because we all thought that on Friday he was gonna give the titles up.
Wow.
He was
That
gonna
would've
vacate
been-
the titles. Yeah.
That would have been a shock.
And he was
Yeah.
kind of even hinting that on Raw, right? When he came out
Yeah.
on Raw, that's what we were all kind of thinking too.
Mm.
But when he said we'll see what's next for Roman.
That's it.
Yeah, so we thought, but it doesn't look like that. It's that, or he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight.
Or Backlash, they're just gonna give it, but why not just give it to Brock then? You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
it.
It would be
Call an
believable
audible,
for
yeah.
Brock to, yeah.
Or it also could be contract. Maybe that he had. I don't know. We don't know.
Because I don't think the plan would be to throw Cody into that picture right away, like right away. Maybe not take time there, maybe not 6 months, but maybe not right away. Would be to throw
Mhm.
Cody.
But Cody is the main talk, right? He's the guy that we talk when we go around in the office. So
Well, I think he's now officially become the top face in WWE.
so that's what I'm saying.
So technically, eventually, that's where they would go with the top face versus the top heel. But I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if going for it right away. Like I say, maybe get Cody to build up a record. I don't know, go undefeated for a few matches, have some great matches, and then when is Backlash?
Oh,
It's in May,
Good question.
or is it the end of April?
It's in
I
May.
think it would be in
I
May,
think it's
right?
May.
Because
well,
okay, so we kind of still have time
We do. We definitely do.
to build
I
that.
don't see him in the picture right away, though. He's
Yeah,
not in the
exactly.
title picture right away.
Mhm.
He's gonna do something with Seth. Maybe he'll do something with KO after. He had a fight with KO during
The
a
dark
dark
match, the main
match.
event, yeah.
yeah, and he's
Um,
and on Monday he has
go
the
ahead.
Miz.
Apparently,
And
that
he has
match
the
was
Miz,
fired with KO. Apparently, so and he did another pro. He had done a promo on another promo after the dark match with KO for the fans that were there. So yeah, I would love to see KO and Cody. I think anything. I think right now you have some good options for Cody.
May
But like
8th.
me and
We have quite a while.
who?
May 8th.
Oh, May 8th. So yeah, we're
WrestleMania
about
Backlash.
4.
So
Yeah,
May
exactly a month. Exactly a month from today.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have time to build that. I guess have him face on Monday, Miz. Have a good match. Then next week have another good match. So the hype goes up for Cody, and then Roman shows up and tries to pierce that balloon, that hype balloon. Maybe I guess there's still ways to build that because
For
I
sure.
really what is next, because that is a question. They sold it on Raw for Roman. You know what's next for Roman, but that is a valid question. Like, what could be next for Roman? That's also the dangerous thing about the way he's been booked for the last year and a half. He absolutely destroyed everybody.
Mm.
So, like, who else can we throw at him? I guess we haven't seen Drew
that's
yet.
why Cody. Right.
Right.
I feel like they don't want to do that to Drew though.
Yeah,
Either. You know.
they make him. Yeah, because
Although he hasn't done
it
much.
seems like they don't want Roman. They don't want to put that belt off Roman. Take that belt off Roman. So they don't want to put Drew in a position where he might look weak, I guess.
Mhm.
Because they're still booking him pretty strongly. So yeah, it's interesting to see where they're gonna go with Roman, and if he is hurt, so maybe he'll have a few promos on both shows, tease a few people, provoke a few people, and then when he's ready, we'll have more of a clear picture of where he's gonna go.
That's it. So I got the. Oh Jesus! I have to open system preferences. All right, never mind. I don't got nothing. I had the picture. I sent the picture with. Can I just do this then? Will this just work? Okay, screw these security settings. Never mind. I'll send the picture through the chat. But yeah, it was quite a dirty. I still think he's injured. I think they might just give it to Shinsuke for a bit to see what he does. But then I feel Brock is just going to annihilate him.
But
I think that's what's going to go
do we
down.
know what's the Brock's contract?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know anymore. I don't think he's finished all his dates per se. So,
But usually he takes a break after WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Yeah.
Doesn't he usually come around SummerSlam?
I mean,
Yeah,
it
usually
depends
too.
what they need him for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it really does depend on that. But yeah, usually he's always at
Yes,
the four main
obvious.
ones, anyways.
Yeah.
So that does look legit. I don't know if it's just like a dislocated thing and he maybe needs a few weeks, or just, hey, no matches. That's why he hasn't been wrestling since. I don't know. It just depends how serious it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like
it does
we
look
saw when it popped, we saw him he popped it back in.
Yeah, you see that bump over there on this bicep, behind his bicep. Yeah, it definitely looks like something was wrong there for sure.
Because the way that match ended, it was kind of
And that's why it ended weird, because the dude was like hurt.
See, I didn't notice because for me it was a classic Brock match. I guess big moves back and forth, spear, Superman punch, F5, a German suplex, back and forth, and then bang, it was over. So I really didn't
but
notice.
it was actually a good match. I was actually enjoying it until that ending.
until that part.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen better for both on both ends. I've
Oh yeah,
seen
definitely.
they've had a better Brock Roman match, and they both have done better matches as well. So for a WrestleMania, I was very disappointed. If this was just on like I don't know, if this was at like a WrestleMania Backlash, which is the next one, or like any other like Elimination Chamber or something, whatever. But for a
Es-
WrestleMania main event, no bueno. I wasn't a fan.
Especially is being sold as the greatest
Yeah.
WrestleMania match of all time.
It's not the greatest. It was never the great. It was never
No,
going to
no,
be the
no,
greatest.
no, no, no. It couldn't be. It
No,
couldn't be.
but if you would have given me a good match for it,
Mhm,
hey, you know what? All right, I could kind of see where you're going. But
mhm.
that match was like poubelle. It was garbage.
Hmm.
You know, like not garbage. It was all right. It was just I've seen better on for both. They both have done better. So it is.
Well,
What it
one thing is for sure. At least it was better than the Bobby Lashley Amos match.
Yes.
Although that, well, I think maybe because I had such low expectations for the
Mm.
Bobby Omos match, I was kind of surprised of how decent it was. Although it was still garbage,
You're
it
generous.
was better than I expected.
Well, we saw some feats of
And I
strength
think
by
because
Amos.
Omos was gonna win, so I think that's kind of where that went into play.
You thought Omos was gonna get over Lashley?
I truly did because I thought they
Mm.
were just gonna build Omos.
Yeah, because they were pushing him very in the last few weeks, very hard. So yeah, I can see how we thought. But I guess they have a lot of they have a lot of stake in Bobby Lashley. So they I don't know, especially now that they're gonna try to turn him face. Let's see if he gets over with the crowd and maybe get back into the title picture soon. That could be an option also because we know from Raw that he was betrayed by MVP, and now it looks like Bobby's going to be a face. So if he can be a big face, maybe he can be an option for Roman because we never got that match, right? The triple threat, one of all. First of all, that was supposed to happen, right?
Right.
With Big E, right? I was remembering the third option. So yeah, if Lashley can stay strong as a baby face, then that can be an option also. Because he did look strong, man, against Omos, and I like the way they build up to that being able to do that move, and he wasn't able to do it. So I guess that was the classic wrestling match for a big guy, right? It's the psychology of I'm trying to do a power move, I can't do it. Everybody's not expecting me to do it. I won't be able to do it. So I guess that part was very. How long did that match last? Maybe 4 minutes, something like that. 5 minutes max.
I think the entrances were longer.
Yeah, could very well be. I remember it being quick. That's for sure. So I don't know. You think Lashley's going to have an impact as a babyface?
I think so. I wasn't expecting that MVP turn. Or actually, I feel like I was, but I was expecting it at Mania. That's why he come out with him. So I figured that's how they were going to do it. So it completely threw me off guard that they did it on Raw. So I enjoyed that. And honestly, Omos needs help.
Yeah.
So,
he needs a mouthpiece. And I think MVP can be a very good mouthpiece for him, yeah. Because when he talks, then he he has a hard time getting out his sentences. Not everybody is good on the mic. It's just
no, that's it. It's life. And okay, can anyone? Maybe you guys don't know. Why do all really, really tall people have really, really weird, deformed voices? Is that
true.
like that's a thing, right? Andre, Shaq, maybe not so much weird, but it's a tad off. Undertaker, I guess not so much weird either. Maybe Undertaker's an exception. I never heard Gonzalez speak, but I'm sure it was weird.
Yeah, Giant Gonzalez. Yeah, it was pretty weird. Didn't speak much, but I think there's a few promos out there. It was very, very weird.
Jesus.
Maybe it has something to
Great
do with vocal
Khali
cords.
has
Mm,
something to do with.
Vocal cords.
could be.
Maybe.
No, it's definitely the vocal cords for sure, but maybe because the vocal cords are more stretched because you're taller.
yeah,
perhaps,
yeah,
I guess.
that's logic.
Oh.
Common sense would tell me something to do with that. Overgrown vocal cords or too stressed out, like you said,
Well, let's Google.
stretched out.
Yeah, that's
Because
I was
it
always
does.
wondering about that because I'm like, man, why are all of them like that? But I guess it's yeah. But I mean, then Shaq is not too bad either. So I was
No,
like,
it's not
I
too
don't know.
bad. No, yeah. And I guess
that's
Kareem
fair.
Abdul-Jabbar is not too bad also.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
but many but I do see it happening a lot with a lot of these, especially when they're not just skinny and tall, when they're big and tall, they're big boys.
Right.
They're big
it
boys.
Big boys. Big boys. Where the big boys play. The big boys.
Welcome to where the big
Boom.
boys play.
Yeah. That's wrestling.
That's wrestling. Yeah, and I mean Raw, obviously, because WrestleMania is done, right? We did WrestleMania. I feel like that
well,
was the only.
AJ versus Edge we didn't talk about.
I'm not.
Oh,
I
that's
was
fair.
not. I was not.
Oh, that was definitely my favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It
I
didn't
love
do
the
nothing for me.
psychology of it. What'd you
Although
say,
I didn't care for it.
Oh,
I didn't like. I was excited for that match, but it was not. I was not a. I was not.
I think
like,
it was too long. I think the issue was it was too long.
yeah, it
It
was
was maybe
a bit
like
long. Yeah.
it was 24 minutes or something. Like it
Mhm,
was long.
mhm.
It was disgusting. If it was maybe 15 minutes, it wouldn't have been that bad because there had everything there to be a great match. Both superstars can go. They did a lot of bumps, but there was just something that was just like, ugh,
off.
I don't
You
care.
know what? You know what? I think it was off. Is because AJ he hit his head in the entrance.
Yeah, he was bleeding coming out to the ring. Yeah.
I mean,
think that
yeah, I don't care about that.
I think that it took him off the game. I think.
No, but it wasn't
Right.
him. It wasn't Edge. It wasn't AJ. They were good. They did good. It's just me. It was off for me, kind of thing. They did amazing. I think really it was just because it was too long. Or maybe the placement. Maybe that should have been the opener for WrestleMania Night 1
Ooh.
kind of thing. Because where it was placed was just kind of like it was just after the Sami Zayn match, I believe.
No, it was right after the Sasha and Naomi the tag team titles, women tag team titles.
And that match was fire.
Yeah, it was
Or,
actually
you know,
it was
decent.
actually good.
You
Yeah, it
enjoyed
was pretty good.
You enjoyed that match?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It
was
wasn't
pretty-
nothing out of. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was just gonna say it was better than I was thinking like, oh, it's a press break match kind of thing, but it was good. It was very enjoyable for
Yeah,
that kind of matchup.
I have nothing bad to say about that match. I enjoyed it while it was going on. I really liked the way AJ sold the ribs. That superplex from the top rope onto the ring apron on the side of the ropes.
Oh, crazy!
Oh, that was that looked very painful. Damian Priest showing up. I guess. How can I say this? I guess I foresaw it coming because we had heard about the heel faction that Edge was building, so I knew something like that was going to happen. I don't know. Them coming out all in black on Raw didn't do it for me. Like
it's like what Bobby King says. It's the Wish version of the Dark House.
The House of Black.
The
Yeah,
House of Black.
And the House of Black is the Amazon version of the Ministry, I guess. But
yeah, that's valid.
so
yeah, and just how he came out too. He didn't even do anything. That distraction alone just took him off guard.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay. I mean, if it was just any regular guy attempting to try and do like I don't know a high risk maneuver, fine. But as a wrestler, a guy who gets no has to stay alert and multitask all kinds, he gets distracted by just Damian Priest being out there. It's a
Being
bit
yeah.
much. Maybe Damian Priest should have done something or whatever. Um, and then this new brood, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good for Damian. Rumors are have it that Rhea's going to be in it, so I guess
Yeah.
it'll be good for Rhea because I don't know, they're not doing much with her anyways.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa being in there might be weird, but that's the rumor that's going on. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna care.
You don't care about
Yeah.
nothing lately.
Well, I mean, what is there to care about? It's WWE. I cared about the Sami Zayn match. I cared about the Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch. There's just certain stuff I don't care about. That's uncareable and uncurable to creative good writing.
What do you guys think about that whole? Well, okay. First, let's start with just the match: Theory versus Pat McAfee. Just that match, just that part.
I loved it.
I think I loved it too. I think
Yeah,
Pat
good
McAfee
match.
is a star, man.
Yeah.
Yep,
His
he definitely can go.
yeah, and he's good with getting reactions from the crowd, um, putting the crowd, making the crowd pop for certain reasons. Athletic as fuck, man. That backflip
Dude,
off
that
the
jump.
yeah, that backflip off the third rope, and then that jump back on the third rope was what up, Jeff? Welcome to the party.
What's up? What's
I
up,
mean-
guys?
We don't have to stop the whole show for Jeff. I mean, Jesus. Let's go and get
Well, you know what it is, Justin. Is that before I came on, it was just KC and John that knew what they were talking about.
Oh,
So yeah, I had to.
you had to. Fair enough.
What's going on, guys? What's going
Welcome.
on?
We're just talking about Pat McAfee and how impressed we are with his athletic ability and his ability to get reactions from the crowds. What do you think on that one, on Pat?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, he was an athlete. I mean, granted, yeah, I think he was a kicker in the NFL,
Yeah.
but I mean, you have to still be somewhat in decent shape, regardless of whether you're just the kicker.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't sure, because sometimes with athletes, you never know,
Mhm.
how they prepare for it. But I think wasn't he doing wrestling training?
Yeah, he has a ring in his I don't know if it's his mansion or his office in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So he said in that podcast with Vince McMahon, he said that he's been wrestling there for years and it's a dream for him. So I can only imagine myself having these matches in the backyard or in my friend's basement,
Right.
my teen years, and actually having to live that moment of being at WrestleMania and having a match with a pretty decent guy like Theory. Maybe he's not my favorite, but he is a good wrestler. Just wrestler for now.
Yep.
Maybe still green and on the mic and other stuff, but he's a good wrestler. And they put out a great match. And like I said, I think Pat's a star. I think we need to see more of Pat, but maybe not on a constant basis. But instead of once a year, give me like 2-3 times a year a storyline with Pat, and you got me hooked.
It has to make sense too.
Yes, absolutely.
It has to make sense.
We have a shitty pay-per-view. Let's throw Pat in there. It has to be something that gets us involved and that is built up properly.
I'd like to see Pat and Graves, since Graves could wrestle now.
Yeah, but I don't
possibility.
think Graves really wants to like at all. He said, "Guys, I'm just comfortable being on the commentary booth, and I'm good with that." Like,
Yeah, I'm sure he's making enough money just doing his commentary. I mean, why risk injury again?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless a good story comes up and he's sold on it and he wants to be part of it. But it's gonna be if it happens for Corey, it's gonna be something meaningful for the fans and for him, I think. But the Pat oozes charisma, man. It's not many times have I seen this in wrestling where this guy is so over and It's just everything he does is gold. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm becoming how do we use the word? I guess I'm becoming a mark for Pat McAfee.
No, he went there. He used the M word.
No. I mean, I was already there when he faced Adam Cole. I was just curious if it was all Adam Cole's doing or if he actually had it. But no, the guy can go, and the guy is super entertaining. He has, I guess, what you would call the it factor, if you will, where he just has it. You know, like he doesn't have to be taught. He was already an entertainer, a puncher, whatever have you. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know, like he just got it. He just has it. He's done his podcast thing where he's super eccentric. Maybe it's all the coke he's done in the years. That's really just made him generally like super excited. But yeah, no, he's great. And I definitely want to see more of him. He sold the whole Vince thing as well. You know, I don't get why Vince has to beat him, but okay, sure.
Because it's Vince, and Vince can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
It's valid, but I mean, Austin Theory can't beat. Like, you just make Austin Theory look bad, though. It's not about Pat McAfee. It's about making Austin Theory look bad. Austin Theory couldn't beat Pat McAfee, but Vince can. Come on.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's Vince.
How's that pizza, John?
Very good.
I don't see why you had to do that. I don't see why Vince McMahon had to, like, you want to be involved in the match. I have no problem with that. But to go in, those clotheslines looked horrible. Running into the corner, he looked horrible. I understand his age, but that's the whole point.
Well, but I can't. I get what you mean, but it's also too that if the plan was that he was going to get stunned, I think it was right after that match, right? He got the worst stunner in pro wrestling history.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So sorry, sports entertainment history. My bad. But I kind of makes sense that okay, fine, he would have went. You know, that Vince was involved. I know it's stupid. Like I agree with you guys. I do agree that it was silly, but I mean, it set that scenario up well.
That's true. If that's the plan they wanted, if they wanted a stunner, Stone Cold to give a stunner to Vince, I guess you had to have Vince involved.
Well,
in
but
some
you
type
didn't
of way.
need a match per se,
Mhm.
right? You
No,
could have
promo.
just had Vince go into the ring, beat on Pat McAfee, Austin Theory's beating them up, and then the glass
and then
breaks.
come out to save the
Right.
day. Yeah.
Vince obviously just wanted to do a matchup, and okay, great, because he's like, well, if Austin could do it, you know, so can I. So, but yeah,
He probably heard
and that stunner was really bad.
Yeah,
I guess maybe he probably heard these things saying, Vince McMahon can't go in the ring. He's 70 some odd years old. And he just wanted to prove people wrong, I guess. That's type of something he would do. But yeah, I guess Vince has the two worst stunner cells of all time. Probably. But this one was really bad. This one was really bad. I think it's going to be a good meme for a few years to come.
Don't you think the Austin Theory cell was a bit ridiculous? Like, come on.
I don't know. Some people, I agree with you, Jeff, on that one. I heard a lot of people. I heard a lot of people say that it was an amazing sell, but I think he overdid it there a bit.
But it's kind of like how The Rock does it, right?
No, but it looked like he almost flew out of the ring.
Because it's that second bump.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it. It's the second bump. Because if he would have just landed the way he landed on the first, not get back up and do another flip, I think it would have been more like the Scott Hall cell or the Rock cell of the stunner. I guess that second flip made it look like he was overselling, and it reminded me a bit of the Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan match, where Shawn Michaels was overselling every single move Hogan was doing.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt a bit weird. Was Austin just Theory? Was he just trying to make it look good? Or was he like, I can't believe I'm in this, and like kind of like a dig to that whole segment? That's what made me think about it, because I did find it. I even wrote it in my notes. I guess that it was a bit too much of an oversell there. So,
well, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a stunner, though. I mean, if it was the whole match and he was overselling, like, okay, it's a bit much. But I mean, I think after the whole bet with The Rock and Austin trying to oversell each other's moves, and then Rock coming out with that crazy over-exaggerated stunner sell, I don't mind it. I mean, it just added to the effect. It was kind of cool. People are just going crazy, though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's what social media is there for, just for people to go crazy and
Exactly.
and
Wouldn't
go
have it
on
any other way. That's it.
these rants. Yeah, yeah. Of course, it was just interesting for me that part. Um, but I guess the McAfee sell was also good. That was the way to sell it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He just fell straight on his back, right? Like if he died, and that GIF. I don't know if you guys have seen
I'm drinking
that.
still.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
passed out and he's holding the beer, and that was
Hilarious.
the perfect GIF. So yeah, everything like I was saying before, everything he seems to do seems like turn into gold. So yeah, I guess it was a nice cover up for that horrible stunner that Vince took. So.
I want to mention something about Pat McAfee too. Like I agree that he has promise, but let's hope that he's put with the right guy because he's still green.
Mm-hmm.
You just put him with anybody just to say that. Well, that if they hope that his name sells the match, maybe. But I mean, you put him against any random wrestler that anyone doesn't really care about. It's almost like he's there, but
Yeah,
okay.
it could not work, and it could be a bit dangerous also.
Right.
If you don't have the right guy. I think Austin Theory's the right guy in the wrestling ring for. I think Adam Cole was perfect. I think AJ Styles could be perfect for a Pat McAfee.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Yeah, these guys that are or now that he's gone, Cesaro. I think these types of guys that are safe and that people trust in the ring, that their opponents trust in the ring, is a perfect type of match that we from Pat McAfee.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that was WrestleMania night 2.
Yeah.
And Raw, which was the highest rating Raw. Well, it is the Raw after WrestleMania, but it passed the 2 million, and I think it's 0.66 in the key demo. So is that a trend that we're seeing, or is that just because WrestleMania was night after WrestleMania?
Night after WrestleMania.
Definitely not after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Plus,
I mean,
plus
maybe
everyone-
with the Cody
everyone
Rhodes
wants-
thing.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
the Cody thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the part that we knew he was coming on for a promo, I guess, brought those extra eyes. Because I guess now we have some AEW fans actually watching WWE because of Cody.
I don't think so. I
He
mean,
doesn't move
maybe for a few nights, but he doesn't move the needle. Oh God, I
Mhm.
can't believe I just said that. Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm already done with his promos though. Like, don't give me any more Cody promos, please. Just start wrestling.
You know what's wrong with the promo on Raw? It's because if you listen to and like I popped when Cody came, so I listened to all the interviews, the press conference, the 50-minute press conference, the interview with Ariel Hamani. I listened to them all, and
Nice.
and that's the problem. If you watch them all and then you see the promo, he's just basically repeating what he said in all those
Yeah.
interviews.
Right.
So that I was a bit disappointed from that promo on Raw because I already had heard it. Now I understand that people that didn't hear, he had some interesting things to say, but all the interesting things he had to say, I had heard him say it in the last 48 hours before that. So I would like to see if anybody has some video footage of that dark match with KO after Raw and of that promo that came after that match, because maybe that promo was more the Cody Rhodes promos that we're used to.
I think. Well, I know that I think what was it? The Kevin Owens was he did the Young Bucks pose
Yes,
during the match. He did that. I know. I mean, it's WWE, so his promos are going to be scripted to a certain extent. He might get some free reign a little bit because he's just coming in. Maybe that's something that he wanted to do because he knew that, hey, I had free reign here. Now you're coming. You're going to bring me in, and you're going to give me scripted promos. So it's going to be a point where everyone's going to have to follow suit, because if they start giving him, I guess you can say, creative control over his promos, that means other wrestlers are going to want the same thing, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, he probably has guidelines to follow, but maybe for now, yeah, he probably has a bit more freedom than everybody else, but he still probably has those guidelines to follow, I guess. But if you give me a match of Cody every week on Raw, I'm okay with that. I want to see that.
Yeah, don't give me a promo. Just don't give me this whole I'm crying promo. Like my father, my legacy. I don't care, bro. I don't care
Yeah.
about your father or your
What
legacy.
was
Just go out there
that?
and wrestle. It was his crying. It was his smirking. All right, it worked.
That
It
sounded
was
like a
supposed to annoy you.
beached whale dying. What the hell was that?
But I do agree with JLB though that
Exactly what Cody Rhodes sounds like though when he's doing that little "I'm trying," whatever, you know. So.
yeah, he even says it in his presser that this is a 48 hours filled with tears. He said.
Oh yeah, filled
So
with tears and dollar signs. Let's
yeah,
not
Yeah,
let,
exactly.
yeah.
because you know the one thing about his promos I wanted to bring up, like the one he did with Ariel too. I saw maybe not the whole thing, but like little pieces of it where he brought up, obviously the question was going to be brought up why he left AEW,
Hmm.
and it was a personal matter. But there was one, I don't know if it was post match. I think it was post match where he said that, oh, I've been reading on the internet that like he left about money, and like that's not the case. And then he alludes to something that, I've talked a lot of crap about this company over the years, and they're paying me an absorbent amount of money to be here. And it's like, okay, so it is about the money then, because you brought it up. No one brought it up to him. He brought it up.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, it's very rare. I'll agree with JLB, but
Hey,
his matches are good. I always liked his work. I just I give him 2 years tops, and he'll be back in AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think where this is, they said a multi-year. So usually these more standard for 3 year contracts is usually the standard for these things.
how long will you get bored of him though? How long is it going to take you to get bored of him? He's there 2 years, but how long? How long will it take you to be done with his shenanigans?
5 months.
Yeah,
But what are
I'm
you
around
talking
there
about?
too.
What shenanigans are you talking about?
Like his promos, his wrestling is good, but then followed by because Cody,
If,
he's gonna have to
if they
promo
don't
his
do
way through death. So
if they don't do nothing with him like soon, I'm then 5 months or less.
Well, he'll win the belt. He'll have his title push, a little
Mhm.
run, 3-4 months. Because who knows how? Even if they give him the belt, how much are they going to push him?
Mhm.
right,
You can put the belt on anybody. If you don't push him properly, then who cares, right?
Mhm.
So
Could
we're
we
it's again,
could
go
we
ahead.
see a Cody run in WWE like a Flair in 92, 93 run?
What do you mean?
Like basically coming in for a year and a half, 2 years, winning the title, dropping it, winning the Rumble, having a good run, and then basically it's time to pass on to other things. So it's better if you
100%.
go on. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think Flair's thing was also because I remember if you, I think Flair's situation was a little different. I think money had to do something with it too.
Yeah.
He was lured back to WCW for a lot of money. I think creative wise too. I think WWE weren't up for that kind of calling it in the ring style of match, that kind of Ric Flair style match that
Mhm.
he was known for doing, which is why when he went back to WCW, he got a crazy crowd pop.
Yeah.
So I understand what you mean though, as far as yeah, it might be a short term thing. Because I honestly, yeah, that's why I said 2 years. Because I don't see him being there. Okay, maybe three. Well, let's say like you said, maybe a 3 year contract. I'll say
Mhm.
three. But I just listen. As far as the promos are concerned, there are wrestlers that do worse.
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's fair.
That's
Okay.
100%.
Look at Ronda's promo. I saw a clip on it where she stumbled on the name of the title,
Yeah. And then
and then
she
she
tries to catch up by saying, "Oh, I shouldn't be a woman's title. It should be
yeah,
just
like
yeah."
like that sounded now. Granted, she's an okay wrestler, but there's a lot of wrestlers that haven't been able to do good promos that were pretty good in the ring. I mean, look at Bret Hart. Bret Hart was okay in promos, but he
Mm.
was fantastic in the ring. So
Hmm. Yeah. I don't. I see because why I mentioned that whole Flair thing is because I see Cody coming in, having all the momentum in the world, like you said, winning the title, having some promos, some great matches, some great programs with other wrestlers, and then after he loses a bit of that momentum and he gets starting to get pushed back down the card, and then that's when Cody says, "Okay, nah, I'm not gonna. I didn't come here to be a mid carder. Finish off his contract and go back to AEW where he could end racism again."
yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess like it says, like I said earlier, it depends how he's pushed, and who they put him with. I think Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things. It'll be how the crowd reacts to him being champion, because a baby face to take the belt off of Roman, I think Brock's kind of like, it's like, okay, we've seen that and that, we been there, done that. I don't think we need
Mhm.
to see that again. Um, I
But
mean, who else really is there that's worthy that you could say, hey, that'll sell pay-per-views other than Cody at this moment?
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said they should do it right away. The longer they wait, the longer it's gonna just like, okay, he won it. How long is he gonna have it? He's gonna lose it. He's gonna leave.
But I think if you do it right away, it might be that he loses his shine a little bit too
Yeah.
fast. So it's almost like that year and a half, 2 year, 3 year period that we think he would have. It's just like
Last
it's
6 months, yeah.
yeah.
It
That's
could
it. I
definitely
would
be.
love to see him and Seth go for a few months. Him and KO, whatever. Him and Sammy or something. Like he's gonna have to build his repertoire before getting to, build his repertoire sounds bad, but I mean in WWE again, kind of thing. Just so the fans can truly be behind him. If he gives us more of what he did with Seth Rollins at Mania in a few more matches, then we'll believe it more. And it's not just okay, you're just getting it because of your contract kind of thing,
Mhm.
I
So
would I would really like to see him and Randy.
I
Yeah.
think that could
or
be a fire match too. Yeah,
mm,
it has, and
They've
there's a
they've
history
wrestled
there.
they've wrestled before, no?
Yeah,
Yep, after
they were
the legacy broke up, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
there's a story right there already.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just
And we see when we all agree that Randy should be turning back heel pretty soon after the breakup with Riddle. Then have a little program with Riddle, and then we'll have heel Randy Orton. Perfect scenario for a Cody match. But when Seth came out after that promo, well, at the end of that promo, and Cody offered his hand, and Seth shook it. I don't know. Are we seeing Seth going back to being a face, and maybe him being pushed into a title fight against Roman again? Because we don't really have closure from that match either, right?
that's true.
that's
uh,
very true. I'm ready
I
for
would
that.
Yeah, I would like to see that as well.
Maybe go that way. Turn him face, and maybe have a program with Roman. That whole Shield story behind. Have like JLB was saying, have Cody on the other side, having these great matches week after week, and
Mhm.
then probably SummerSlam would be a good spot for.
Yeah, I think so, but and it's that I think though it depends. I would see that happening like maybe towards the end of Cody's run, because let's face it,
Mm.
Cody is. You could say that he was a WWE groomed wrestler, but not
Mhm.
like the other two, because the other two haven't left. He
Yeah.
has, and I
Mhm.
think Vince and the new hierarchy over there, the WWE, I think they have they might bring you back, but I think that the grudge is still there.
Yeah.
And we've seen
So
it before. We've known Vince McMahon to hold a grudge here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe for now he doesn't want to maybe make it so obvious, but then in a few months we'll start seeing. Okay, what are we doing? Where did they put Cody in a mid card match with no
Why is
significance?
Cody against Ezekiel? Or
Yeah, I
whatever
was.
his name
who?
is.
Ezekiel, was that weird or what, man?
Yeah. What the hell is that name?
Well, I guess
I don't know.
Elias, Ezekiel, they're biblical names, so I see the link there. But man, does he look weird?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, and
Jeez.
the and
And
the
they
whole thing.
expect us to know it's a joke, right? They
I
do
hope
expect
so.
us to know it's a joke and not trying to really put it on us that he's like Elias's brother
How long does it
when
take?
it's just him.
How
Yeah.
long does it take for him to get released?
No, I don't think they're
5 months.
releasing him.
Hmm. I don't know. How long
Probably
does it
less.
take? How long does it take to grow a beard back?
It depends how long you want it.
I don't know. I just shaved. I'll let you know in a week.
Oh, is that why you don't have your camera on? You don't want to
Exactly.
see? Okay.
So-
Yeah, and then Veer came too, and for some reason he mashed up the Mysterios, right? I believe.
I think that's the one I missed. That's the part of Raw that I missed. Okay,
No,
I was very disappointed in missing the debut of Veer. God damn it.
Veer finally came. Yeah, it's fucking
So you're saying
horrible.
he beat up the Mysterios?
Yeah.
Well, Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna have a
Like,
Rey Mysterio Veer type of thing for a while now.
yeah. Hopefully, it's not a eye versus eye match or something. Because
Oh, is Veer that guy with the white makeup on his face? That
Yeah.
looks like a Samoan almost.
yeah,
Well, he has the
Little Samoan.
beard, the white,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Okay,
white
okay,
lines
yeah.
and the thing. Yeah.
Gee, how long does that shitty gimmick last?
right.
Well, I think it's gonna definitely last less. Well, how do I say it? Less time than his vignettes for coming on Raw lasted. That's for sure. Because I
Yeah.
think that's been going on for
Since October.
yeah, exactly. So
Cool.
6 months. Ow!
Been that long?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
been coming soon, and finally he arrived. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna last long. I think that they build up too long. Now you're expecting, okay, he did get a pop because people. There was the joke, right? When is
Right.
Veer gonna come? Veer is finally coming, so he did get a pop. But how long will that? How long will this last? Will people are interested in Veer? Like, unless you put him in a program right away, and like he needs a program type of like the Mankind Undertaker program. Like,
Oh, I don't
needs
think
ve-
he's that over.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
he was just over for that him finally coming
Yeah.
to Raw. I mean, in reality, him not being there, he was more over than him actually being there. Now it's
Yes.
done.
Now you see next week. You'll see next week. The reaction will be much less.
People won't care. People will be
yeah.
like, "Oh, bathroom break, cool."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that you have him show up on like the main event or wherever there are other shows, and he's like wrestling just there, like no problem. It's kind of like, okay, but you're making this whole big idea that he's coming to Raw, and he's not even a big deal on Saturday
on
night's
main
main
event.
event or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was that gimmick was dead on arrival. So
Do you think his character was please Nick Khan?
oh wow.
No. But see, it's not. And I'm not being insulting.
No.
You're being
I think
serious.
I understand what you're
Let's
saying.
think about it.
Well,
This whole big build-up. Nick Khan is a pretty big person. Pretty big. What is he like? Second in command?
He's definitely second in command. Yep.
There you go.
Why would it be to please Nick Khan?
Because they're both the same culture.
Jinder Mahal and the other guy and his former tag team partner on
Shanky
SmackDown.
there?
Yeah, that's I forgot his name. Yes.
Maybe
They
it's
seem like-
also too to like maybe they view it as a chance to attract the
a certain
the,
demographic.
that audience from that part of the world.
Yes, because Jinder did go to India maybe a few months ago, maybe a max a year ago, and trying to sell WWE there in India.
There you go.
So I can see they've done this before, right? When you're trying to emerge into a market and maybe try to have people from that part of the world get them over so they could sell merchandise and tickets and pay-per-views in that part of the world. I've seen it before, so I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen lesser dudes get pushed into top positions with that I thought were just didn't make sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if this were to happen with Veer, at least for the close future. But I don't know.
He might have a little title run too. One of those titles that no one cares about.
Hopefully not the 24/7 because
It's going to be the 24/7 championship. It's definitely going to be the 24/7 championship.
What do you guys?
Because I
think-
swear to God, if he beats Ricochet, I am going to smack someone in the freaking face. Ricochet
No.
deserves better, damn it.
And then you'll be 10 years suspended from StreamYard.
Yeah, that's it. Straight up.
What do you guys think?
Go ahead. Sorry.
What do you guys think about Corbin not being with Moss anymore?
Well, we saw that breakup coming when Madcap Moss was won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then cost Corbin the match with Drew. So as long as whatever he does, Madcap Moss, as long as he doesn't do the dad jokes no more,
He's gonna get repackaged because I hated that gimmick. Both of them, I thought it was silly. I thought it was a waste of airtime.
Yeah, I didn't like the dad jokes and the
My
Happy
God.
Corbin. I'm okay with, I guess. I'm
I've
not
I
heard
like
that you
Corbin
broke
when he's not on
Corbin better.
TV.
But you go from this goth character, so he shaves his head, so he looks a little bit, maybe a little bit more menacing, and then all of a sudden something happens to him, and he turns into this happy-go-lucky guy. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
well, because he lost his crown, right, and then lost his money, lost his confidence, lost everything that, and then won and became Happy Corbin. So they had that little transition period between King Corbin and Happy Corbin, with being the broke, depressed Corbin. Um, I'm okay. I like King Corbin as a heel. Um,
Yeah, he's a fantastic heel.
yeah, Happy Corbin a bit less, but still I like what he's doing. But with Madcap was just wasn't working. Wasn't working. So hopefully they can get a program going. I don't know how over they're going to be able to put Madcap Moss. I don't. I think there's
I
a
think he's
limit.
being completely repackaged, though. I think we're gonna see
Mhm.
a completely new Moss. Um, and yeah, we'll see. I don't know. He's a great wrestler, though. It's
Yeah.
just I hate his gimmick.
Mhm.
So
I think
hopefully he
when
gets repackaged to something we like better.
I see Moss, I think of Masters.
Chris Masters.
Yeah,
He has kind of that big buff look. He
yeah.
does have the look. So there's definitely potential there for him.
Mhm.
Is can he deliver, and can they book him properly? That's
Do
the
you
two
think
things.
that they ended that whole gimmick because they hoped that bringing him up from NXT and putting him with an established name didn't work to the way they wanted to, so it's almost like you have no choice to repackage him or send them back to NXT.
I think that's valuable there. I think that's what they want to give him exposure, like you said, by putting him with somebody that was known and that was gonna be on TV week in and week out. Um, did it work out like they thought? I don't think so, because they would have. I guess if it would have worked out like they thought, maybe Happy Corbin would have had a title run of some sort with some title. I don't know.
Well, they would have been
Um,
tag team champions, maybe.
or yes, probably go that route. Yeah, like they
And
did with Amos and
obviously,
AJ.
this doesn't work. Every time they bring up people from NXT, it just never works either, right?
Mhm.
Why do you book this whole thing with um, Steiner's son facing Ziggler at Stand and Deliver, make him lose, and then on Raw, you beat Ziggler?
You win the title
Why
on Raw.
do this on Raw when you just had your pay-per-view for NXT? Because no one cared on Raw. There was no pop, no nothing. You changed up his gear completely. He didn't wear the same gear that he even, like the whole colorful gear from Stand and Deliver. You had him come out with like black one piece sort of ordeal. It was just silly, stupid. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. I
Do you,
don't know why they continue to mess up superstars.
My issue with NXT is, okay. NXT is supposed to make the new superstars,
right.
and then when they're ready, they're supposed to go to SmackDown and Raw. Why do you change their name? That's one thing I never understood.
Because I
What do you mean?
think
It's so that they can own the copyright to their name, so that WWE gets all the money for the shirts and everything. Whereas they changed Walter because they couldn't copyright Walter. Walter was using that from like ages ago, right? So that's
Mhm.
why he became Gunther. They're like, all right, we're going to bring you up to the main roster. Walter, no more. We're going to call you Gunther on NXT for a bit just so people get used to it. And then we're going to bring you up to the main roster, which again didn't work out because once Walter came out there, no one knew who the hell he was.
Exactly. That's my
They
point.
they probably thought he was Kozlov or something from like the other Russian guy that was there
Yeah,
like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like no
that's my
one
point.
cared.
Exactly.
I
yeah,
was
It's
gonna-
because
very
they own it.
upsetting
It's
because
like
Walter's
even
awesome.
it's like on Friday when Butch was wrestling, Pat I always forget his last name. We called him Pete by accident.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's
It's
definitely
just
gonna happen. But the thing is, the issue. I don't have an issue that much with changing names. I have an issue doing it from NXT to the main roster. I
yes,
would if
exactly.
you're gonna change the person's name, have them start in NXT already with a new name. not
Mhm.
sell him to us for 2 years with his real name or whatever name he was using in the Indies, and then all of a sudden bring him to the main roster and you
Mhm.
completely change his name.
But
Yeah.
That's
that's
it.
my
As
go
far
ahead.
as like, I wanted to make a comment on what Justin said about Braun Breaker. I
Mhm.
think maybe they gave him that little push because of the Hall of Fame, because he inducted his father and his uncle in the Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
Do you think that maybe that had anything to do with it?
But the Hall of Fame was on Friday, right?
No,
So
but
why not just do it on Stand and Deliver? It was the day after. You make him become the champion.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just thinking maybe that's something
Well,
that's
because
something.
Honestly, I thought him
probably
losing at Stand and Deliver. I thought him losing was a sign that he was coming to the main roster,
Yeah.
and that they thought here Lewis is saying, but they don't have the same success as they have in NXT. Yeah, like that's the problem because of all this booking and name changing, and people lose interest. That's what happens.
Mhm.
But for Braun, I really thought he was going to come on the main roster, and that's why he didn't win the title. And then to have him win the title on the main roster, and then he's going to stay on NXT. I don't know. I think Braun was people know him now. I guess bringing him on Raw in those past few weeks before WrestleMania, I guess got him the exposure he needed from the main roster, and that's why I thought he was going to come. I don't know. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with Braun with this NXT title.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It,
Yeah, I don't see him having a long run though. Unfortunately.
well, he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
He was already champion. Dolph Ziggler beat him. You should have just made him come up to the main roster. But for some reason, you decide on Raw to give him the title again so he can go back to NXT.
it could also
Unless
be like,
they're doing a
sorry.
transition. No, sorry about that. Unless they're doing a transition where they're going to maybe start putting the NXT title championship matches on Raw or something too.
Yeah, to
And
get
they're
more
going to make
people.
it like yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I was gonna say. Maybe they did the exchange because Raw there's more viewers.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
they want their NXT guys to have a bit more exposure, so they're known like when they come to the main roster. Because I guess they see the same thing we see, that like what he was saying before about Walter Gunther showing up, and then nobody knew him. Yeah. So he doesn't have that impact on the fans quite yet.
But Fab, the third guy, Fab.
The one that's going to stay on
Yes, what's his name?
NXT, Fabian, I
Fabian.
think.
I
Yeah.
don't understand why he stays.
I guess they want to give him a singles push. I don't know.
But that's one of the best stables they have.
Yeah, I loved Imperium. All three of them. I
Yeah.
guess maybe I think he's going to lose it to Gunther and then bring him up. Well, because Gunther's on the main roster now. That's what's weird. I would have been up for that. Give Walter NXT Championship run there in NXT for a few months. Make him destroy everybody, slap the shit out of everybody, and then bring him on to the main roster. But now bring him on to the main roster. He never won the NXT title. I don't know.
Does it
These decisions.
does it surprise you that WWE's booking doesn't make sense?
No.
No.
I'm not shocked. Like I'm kind of like, I get where we're going with this, that we don't understand, but at the same time I'm not surprised
Mhm.
Mhm.
because it seems like this has been their MO for a
But
long time.
it's very mind-boggling though. Like it's not necessarily a shock. It's just like, how do you end up going that route with things?
Mhm.
Where is what are you thinking of exactly here? Are you going to push them or you're not going to push them? Because now it's Walter versus
But that's my
Braun
point.
Breaker.
That's my
You
point.
know?
Is it's like it's not like this has never happened before, where you didn't understand where they're going storyline wise. It makes no sense. The angle doesn't go over, and then they end up killing it abruptly. And it's like, okay, let's try something else. It's happened thousand. No, but
Yeah,
it's true.
it's
happened
true that
It's
it's
human.
happened so many times, but like Justin was saying, it's just that
It's
how
human
can we?
curiosity. It's human curiosity, though. It's like, but where are you trying to go with this? Like, I'm trying to understand your stupid booking. Why exactly? Like, it's just how does a multi-billion-dollar company have these creative processes that make absolutely no sense, though?
It's very
It's,
yeah.
you know,
I have an answer to that.
Mm.
They live in their own bubble. They don't
Right.
care anything that is outside that bubble, whether it's making waves or not. I mean, yes, AEW can be as popular as it could be, but they live in that bubble. They know that there's going to be fans that are going to buy into their shit, and that's it. That's what it is. They don't care.
I think Jeff is hitting the point here. I think it's more them living in an echo chamber and not seeing uh, our reaction, fans not listening to. They don't have somebody going to check. We'll see what the fans are saying about this or about this guy or about this match or anything. It's just them living in their echo chamber, being hard headed and thinking they have the right recipe. Because listen, we turned this company into $1 billion company,
Right.
and staying in that mentality. I guess we're gonna do this because it's gonna work.
Exactly. That's it.
No matter what fans are saying, it's gonna work. It's gonna sell tickets. It's gonna work, and stick to that point.
I mean,
guess that's what they're doing.
I've stopped believing that WWE listens to fans ages ago. It's just more, I'm thinking more along the lines of like, but what are you trying to do with this as a company? You know what I mean? Okay, so Dolph wins on Saturday. You make Braun win on Monday. You have Walter face Braun on Tuesday and like make it a thing where they're gonna face each other.
Now
It's
Walter.
and then you have Walter come out on SmackDown and hit someone, right?
Who's Walter?
I don't know. You're gonna have to figure it out. So it's just kind of like I got to the point where you're trying to just cross brands now, in the sense that you're trying to make NXT go on to Raw and SmackDown and make it a whole thing, and NXT is gonna be doing a lot more championships maybe on the main rosters. So that I kind of got, but it's just kind of like, why are you just transitioning the title, like flip-flopping all kinds? What was the point of Ziggler winning on Saturday on the NXT pay-per-view, where a lot of people are watching it anyways because it's WrestleMania weekend, and hey, there's NXT happening at 1? Sure, let me watch that. Make Braun win. A lot more people who probably watch Raw are gonna also notice him from Stand and Deliver and say, oh yeah, he's the new NXT champion. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But then him winning it there, you saw the fans didn't care, so obviously not a lot of their fans watch NXT. Yeah. It's the whole flip-flopping was weird to me. That's all.
Do you think that that's a result of Bruce Pritchard and Vince being in charge of NXT as opposed to Triple H?
Well, I mean, yes,
it plays.
It definitely plays. It's just the problem is, even when Triple H was in power, he had no power when they went up to the main roster, obviously, right?
Well, yeah, but yeah.
So even then, it didn't really work. Aside from, Sasha Banks worked, Becky worked, so these people worked. But for some reason, after that school of wrestlers, NXT wrestlers, it stopped working.
That's after that first batch where the 4 horsewomen and the KO, Sami Zayn, Nakamura. After that first batch, then nobody ever worked again from NXT to the main roster. I don't know.
Well, I would even argue Nakamura didn't really work either. I mean, you were saying like a month and a half. I don't know, man.
Fair.
He was huge in NXT, and then as he came to the roster, he was good for a few months, and then they just gave him nothing.
They make him win. They make him win the Royal Rumble, and then boom, nothing. That's it.
Nothing.
He dies off.
Yeah, that was a horrible booking because you win the Royal Rumble. Usually, that's a huge stepping stone to become in the main title picture. So
didn't they do it twice? Didn't they make 2 Japanese people win the Royal Rumble, and both times none of them won the belt?
I don't know if Asuka won the belt. Did she?
I don't think so.
Asuka won the belt. Yeah.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
okay.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because no one was ready for Asuka, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
When is she coming back, man?
Is she coming back?
I heard she was ready to come back. I guess they're waiting for the right time.
They probably have nothing for her.
Surprise, surprise.
I mean, I don't know. Give me Charlotte versus Asuka. Screw this Ronda stupidity.
No, Ronda has to make Charlotte I quit.
Oh, Jesus.
That's true.
Make her quit. She has to
That's
make
what
her quit.
we predicted on last week's podcast. Yep.
And Charlotte's going to be off for TV for a few weeks or months.
Yeah, she's going to get married. So, yeah. She'll be probably take the summer off, get married, go on her honeymoon, and then come back in October, something like that, maybe for right before summer Survivor Series or something. Um, because now we know from SmackDown that Lacey Evans is back. So
Yeah. No longer with the Southern gimmick either. She's a
yep.
face
I missed
now.
her. To be honest with you guys, I missed her.
I've been waiting for a good Charlotte versus Lacey match for a while now. I want to see Lacey put over and knock the shit out of Charlotte with a women's right
I want to
That's
see
it.
Charlotte against Jade.
from NXT.
No, Jade from AEW.
Oh! I thought you were talking Cora Jade from NXT. Okay. Jade Cargill. Yeah.
So I think
I
there's money there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a big money match. Definitely, probably the two most over women wrestlers, maybe, or two of the five most over women wrestlers in the industry right now.
Oh, so I take it you're part of the baddie section too, then? There, Kid Crazy.
No.
No,
Uh,
I'm still not on with this change.
I see the improvement.
Cargill
People,
There's improvement.
fellow,
I just don't care.
yeah.
Again, Justin doesn't care about nothing.
I see the
What a
people
shocker
that
there.
people that follow the podcast know that that I've been shitting on Jade for a while now, but I can see the improvement in the past few weeks, so I'll give her credit for that. She's getting better on the mic. She's getting better in the ring, slowly, and she's over with the fans. So once everything is ready for her to get into that next phase, I think that's when it would be great to see a Charlotte versus Jade. At that moment, when Jade is no longer green and you could go for 20-25 minutes and give me some great wrestling, I think that would be one of the most money-making matches that you could have.
Because in the women's division, let's say just WWE, since we were on the topic of just WWE, what's there next for Charlotte to do that you haven't really seen? That she's wrestled Bailey, she's wrestled Becky Lynch dozens of times, she's wrestled Sasha Banks. You know, I mean, would you be surprised that eventually she leaves, considering that her husband's in another company?
No.
I don't. Yeah, but Vince is gonna throw all kinds of money at her, though.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
you know,
she's ever leaving.
And Ric Flair has made it public that he didn't like the fact that the way they were treating him and basically erasing his legacy. You don't think that's gonna have anything to do with it?
Also, if I had a choice to knowing that I'm going to be able to be with my husband every day instead of getting the money, I'll rather be with my husband, knowing and then the money.
Oh, she'll get paid. It's not like she's
Yeah.
not gonna. AEW would pay her. I mean, they have money.
Oh, I get
Yeah,
it.
but they won't pay her.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna pay her as much as WWE is gonna be willing to pay her, though.
I don't think
Tony
so.
Khan's been throwing a whole lot of money out recently, though, with buying. Okay, granted, ROH wasn't a crazy buy; it was only like 40,000. But then to have all the wrestlers come in, I don't know if you're paying per appearance or per contract. I don't know. Like he does have the money to do it, but I don't know if is it even worth. Because she's always going to be a WWE superstar, though, in that regard, and he's going to get shit on if he brings in Charlotte. Oh, it's a ex WWE star.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think
There's a lot of ex-WWE superstars.
yeah, if she does, especially if her first promo, the big if, right? Because we don't even know if it would happen, but I think
Right.
if her first promo feels genuine, where it's like it's coming from her, which we all know it in AEW, that's usually how it is.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get over no matter what, whether she's heel or face. You know,
Oh,
and
she's
we're
definitely
thinking-
gonna get over.
Yeah. So I think it would definitely work.
She's
Yeah,
arguably the best female wrestler of all time,
Yeah.
and probably a top 20, top 30 wrestlers of all time. Period. So
Yeah. No, I think it because what else is there to do? What you know,
Exactly.
really, it's the Ronda thing is come and gone
mhm.
because we all know how that turned out.
It'd gone before she came back.
Yeah.
I think Rhea can be if they book her properly.
They already
I
did
think
that, though.
They did
Yeah,
that.
they did,
True,
yeah.
they did that. They
Yeah.
did that. But I don't think Rhea was ready for that, though.
Well, Rhea's still not going to be ready for it because she's going to be part of Edge's faction now. So I don't know
Yeah.
unless they
So
push that.
so
into
in
a
other
new
words,
character.
they're killing her off.
Yes,
More or
they're
less.
executing
you
her.
put her. You put. Oh Jesus! God damn.
It's,
I knew he was gonna hate that.
it's
Oh,
doesn't.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't. It depends how they book it. I don't want to judge something before it happens, but
Well, you could judge it because we know it's gonna be bad booking.
Yeah.
well, yeah, the booking is probably going to be bad, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll enjoy. I don't know. She has,
Rhea Ripley had to be left alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
She had to be
she's a
left
powerhouse.
alone.
Yeah, she could.
You know, she
She
had
could deliver on the mic. She could deliver in the ring. So she doesn't need to be in a faction or anything. She's
No.
over with the crowd.
because now
People
she's
love
heel,
seeing
right?
her pin her opponents. It's
No,
amazing.
she's face.
Well, she's turning heel.
Well,
slowly.
isn't Edge's faction heel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
She's
she
turning heel.
slowly. Sometimes she hints out in that the heel turn.
She
Like when
wasn't
she
with
was-
Liv on SmackDown. It was a whole thing. Oh, but
Yeah.
where's Rio tonight? Oh, we know she's not here tonight, but she's gonna be there on Monday. So she's definitely gonna be turning heel on Monday night.
Sooner or later, yeah.
Well, Monday night. It's happening like next week
Yeah.
for sure.
Because it felt a bit weird that Liv was put over Sasha and Rhea not being there. So is that maybe now the start of something where Rhea gets jealous, and maybe that's where they're going with this heel turn? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We're better creative than they are. Look at that.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I don't
Well,
know.
so maybe us three that are on camera.
Yeah. Nah, JLB's pretty good too. He's
I
predicted
know.
some.
I kid.
These comments. Yeah.
Got to throw the flowers.
Don't
Yeah,
don't
thank
don't
you.
get ahead of yourself, Justin.
Yeah, I guess it's time for before we move on to AEW.
Holy shit! It's been an hour and a half about Raw. That's the longest we ever talked about WWE.
Yeah, but it was WrestleMania, so it's a bit normal. I'll give you a quick recap of NXT.
Oh,
So Braun versus Gunter, obviously the main event. Imperium versus Creed Brothers, very good match. I guess was the last time we saw Imperium as a tag team. Fabian and I forgot his other name, the one that's now on Raw, which they're going to call him Ludwig on another name change. It was the Loomis versus Hudson double count out, not important. Oh yeah, this is important in that match, and I think it was amazing from the crowd because there was a double count out, and the fans saw or believed it was really stupid, and they started chanting, "This is stupid, this is stupid."
Oh, nice.
And it went on for a good 3 to 5 minutes before, I don't know if they lowered the crowd noise a bit, so they a bit faded out, but for a good 3 to 5 minutes you heard it clearly, and the commentators were trying to avoid it. So I found that was cool. The toxic attraction versus Kai and Raquel Rodriguez now, since she's on the main roster. I don't know if that was a mistake or if they're actually going with that name. But toxic.
No. It wasn't a mistake. Raquel
So
Rodriguez is a new name, so that WWE can copyright it.
Okay.
what was her name in NXT?
Her name Raquel Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Now it's what?
So now it's Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, they're good and creative.
yeah.
So Toxic Attraction wins back their titles, and hence that is how you saw Raquel on the main roster on Friday. Then a little wink, which I always like, is Tony D and AJ Galante. The return of AJ Galante because of the big pop he got at WrestleMania. I guess they brought him back for NXT, and basically it was a bit cringy, but I enjoyed it. It was basically AJ Galante making Tony D'Angelo a made man. So they cut him with the blood and the card and the whole thing.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. It was a bit cringy, like I said, but I enjoyed it. It was a bit entertaining. It was the being made, the ritual. So and now he is officially the Dawn of NXT. Then my favorite right now in NXT is Nikita Lyons.
Yes.
Another good match. I think it was her second or third match. She's they're not really squash matches, but they finish pretty quickly, and they're pretty easy wins for her. So I expect her to be in the title picture in the next maybe 2 months, I would say. for Nikki the Lions. Very over with the crowd.
Mhm.
They had a good match with some good bumps that she took. The other one, I forgot her name. The main event, Braun against Gunther, was very hard hitting. The typical Gunther Walter match you would see. Very, very disappointed that it was so easily Braun won so easily, because you've been selling Walter as a destructive machine for the past, since he's been NXT UK champion for all these past 3 years. Yeah. So that was I was a bit disappointed in seeing how easily Braun won, and with I think was just one power move. His finisher did it once and it was over. So I was a bit disappointed in that, and I really found stupid. Well, I guess the next rivalry for Braun is against Joey Gay. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Gacy or Gassy, the whatever woke character that in NXT. It came out at the end that they kidnapped Rick Steiner, and Rick was tied and in a cage. So that's how the show ended. For Rick was captured by Joe Gacy and his I forget his name, the strong guy that looks like Brock a bit. That's it. So the cliffhanger is what's happening with Rick.
And we're probably gonna get Rick Steiner on a pole match.
Woo!
What it sounds like.
It's like Buff Bagwell's mom.
Yeah, exactly. Have we seen that Brock guy fight yet? The guy that's supposed to be like the next Brock Lesnar?
I think he had one match. I think.
Yeah. How
How is he?
He's good.
He's not bad.
Okay, it was a quick match there. I didn't see many stuff, but he looks like your typical amateur wrestler, strong guy. I guess.
Okay.
You need to put him with a. I would have liked to see him in a match with somebody established to see what he can do, but I guess we'll see it soon.
That's fair, and I guess we should maybe also mention Gable Stevenson is now officially part of the WWE. They mentioned that at WrestleMania. We saw him. I believe it was on Raw. If not, if it was on SmackDown.
Yep. I guess it's a little. There's a little rivalry going. Gable versus Gable, right?
Yeah.
So that's something I really don't care about.
Well, I mean, it's kind of cool. At least they're both amateur wrestlers, so it should.
They're
be
both
an
Olympic medalists.
Yeah,
also,
so
one's gold, one's brown. So it's. I guess there's a story to tell there. I don't know. I haven't seen Gable Stevenson enough to know if he's going to be able to bring how do you say, to bring the back up his reputation, I guess. But I guess with Gable, with Shorty G, I forgot his first name. What's his first name? Chad Gable. Sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah. I was keep on calling him Shorty G there. I think Chad Gable is a good opponent for first opponent. He's safe. He's a good wrestler, and he could tell he's also okay on the mic, I guess. Shush. So yeah. I want to see where they're going to go with this. They could put on a good match, a good Kurt Angle style match. I think they could do it.
Yeah, should be fun. Are they actually facing like as next week or anything? No, we don't have anything official yet, right? Okay.
No.
Perfect. So Dynamite.
Yes, sir.
What do we got? Because I'm blanking.
Well, we got Adam Cole. Starts off with Adam Cole versus Christian.
Yeah.
Right.
That was good. Very good match.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It looks like they don't have much they don't know what to do with Christian, I guess, other than put him in these exposure matches and having him accompany Jurassic Express. But that much was a very good match.
I don't think his expectation was to be that huge of a figure.
Guy.
No, I don't think so. I think
he just wants to wrestle, and
he just wants to be able to get a chance and to be able to what he does makes sense. So, and so far, he's been quote unquote mentoring Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. I think it's good.
Yeah. As long as it's on his terms, and that's what he was wanting to do, because he's always said he wanted to finish it on his terms. He never got the chance to really end his career on his terms. So I guess that's okay. Samoa Joe versus Max Caster.
That rap.
That rap was fire.
Yeah.
That rap, that freestyle was fire. Even Joe was like, "Oh, trying not to break character there." And the match was pretty good too. I guess maybe one of the best matches Caster's been in.
Okay, well,
Singles
calm
matches.
down. I still feel like it was a pretty much a squash though.
Well, of
But
course it was going to be. It was Samoa
Yeah.
Joe. What is he going to do?
Yeah.
He's gonna give Max Caster something to work with. But I mean, of course, he was going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh
Samoa
no,
Joe. He has to look
absolutely. But I
destructive,
don't think that was Caster's best match per se because we really just saw a Samoa Joe train going on there. Like it was all Samoa Joe kicking ass. But I'm excited. I guess to see Samoa Joe face I forget the guy.
Jay Lethal.
No, the next guy that he's facing next week.
Suzuki.
Suzuki.
Zazu.
Oh yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah.
That's gonna be fire.
You're gonna see some chops in that one.
That's
Yeah.
it. So that should be fun.
So far, I like the back and forth they're doing with ROH.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a shame.
I mean-
it's just. Go ahead.
It's just like I just don't get how you have your main event be for the ROH and the AAA tag team titles, but it has nothing to do with AEW at the same time either. Like it kind of diminishes your tag team division. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just me there.
No, I don't think they did it with Impact. They did it with the Impact titles on Dynamite.
true.
Yeah, the Good Brothers, right? Defended it.
Yeah, they've done it before.
Yeah, but was it the main event?
Yeah.
Because for me it was okay.
Oh, the Good Brothers were always a part. They were always associated with the Young Bucks while they were champions. So, and they've defended those titles before. So, I think it's just the way that whenever FTR dropped the belts, they're clearly going to turn babyface. They're not going to be a part of the Pinnacle anymore, and they're going to have a solid title run. You know,
We're just waiting for Brett.
Yeah, because you hear the chants, right? Top guys, and you see them reacting to the fans. You're starting to see that shift to baby faces. So
I think they're the best tag team in wrestling.
Yes, I agree.
definitely in the
They could-
conversation. No
They
doubt
could cut
about it.
promos. Both of them could cut really good promos. They're both great workers. What more do you want?
It's a real shame that this Warner Media executive doesn't want to know nothing about the Briscoes.
Yeah.
Because having the Briscoes in that division, having matches against Young Bucks, FTR, Jurassic Express was great. That match against FTR at Super Card of Honor was fire. Match of the year candidate guaranteed.
But
Could it
They
be-
wrestled 6 times in 2 days, the Briscoes.
Could it be that they said they did something or they said something that was
they said
One of them in 2013 had a homophobic tweet.
there you go.
And then the next ROH taping, he apologized right away. And this is 9 years ago. But things will stick to you, man. The internet never be erased, and somebody's gonna bring it up, and it's gonna make you look bad.
But
So that's disappointing.
does Ring of Honor have a TV deal?
I don't think
Not
so.
well, they did no. All I
they-
know is New Japan World is now going to be showing Dynamite, but
Yeah.
nothing about ROH yet.
Because
I know in Canada they used to be on Fight Network. I don't know if they still are, but I know that in Canada they were on Fight Network weekly. So.
because if I remember correctly, I read somewhere that Khan is looking for a new TV deal for Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not in Sinclair anymore. So
So the Briscoes could still stay in Ring of Honor and just bring the FTR there.
Technically, yeah.
yeah, but FTR it'll be just to work that program. The FTR ain't gonna stay in
No,
ROH.
I'm just saying if for us to see those matches,
Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
since they are the Ring of Honor tag team champion.
but what I hear is Impact are really pushing to get them because they heard this that they won't be on Dynamite or Rampage because of the Warner Media executive. So they're really pushing to sign the Briscoes. Maybe they're in negotiations to let the Briscoes wrestle outside of Impact while they are under contract with them, because it seems like Briscoes are workhorses and they like to work everywhere. So they just want to wrestle. These guys are chicken
Plus,
farm raisers.
didn't the Good Brothers have anything to do with them losing the ROH tag team titles?
This
Yeah.
past at the Super Card of Honor.
Well, did they feud? Like, wasn't there like some kind of an altercation?
Yes, they did
between
feud. Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
so it would make
They
sense
did
that they
feud.
go to
Yeah.
Impact. Yeah, I
But
can
now
see
at
that
Super
happening.
Card of Honor was the Young Bucks came out
The super
and
kicked. Yeah,
yeah, they super kicked FD. Was it FTR or Briscoe? No, it was
the
Briscoes.
Briscoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Briscoes. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, I just find it a shame because these guys could put on some great matches. But FTR definitely is one of the best.
You
Go ahead,
never know.
John.
Maybe Khan could figure out something for them to come. You never know.
Well, maybe after negotiations and saying maybe have a meeting with this executive and the Briscoes,
Because
because
that's
maybe
a
this
big
guy doesn't
loss.
know
Now.
them, and you look at them and you go, okay, these guys look like rednecks.
They're chicken farmers, guys. They're chicken
Yeah,
farmers.
they're chicken farmers. So maybe have a meeting with them, have them speak and explain themselves, and maybe things can change. But for now,
well,
it seems they
well,
seem
because
firm.
didn't Max Caster say something derogatory? I think, and then he was suspended for 30 days, and he ended up coming back, or
Yeah, I
something
think
like that.
he did on his freestyle. He did a joke about the Duke lacrosse team, right?
Yeah,
So it was,
so there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess there's the door isn't completely closed on the Briscoes. Hopefully, it'll be able to reopen soon for them. Where was I? The next. Yeah, Sean Spears, guys. It's about time they do something with this guy because nothing seems to work.
Pack his
And
bag and send him home.
because now he has cleanly losing against Captain Sean Dean on Dynamite. Yes, the Wardlow distraction, whatever. But
So it's not clean, but you know.
well, it's clean. I mean, there was no cheating involved. There was a distraction. That's what I meant.
Okay.
But yeah, there was. It wasn't. You're right. It's not completely clean. But I don't know. Sean Spears, man. There's really nothing. Nothing that works for him.
Nothing sticks.
I think the pinnacle maybe was his chance for him to
Yeah.
because a push alone wasn't going to work. I think it would have died down really fast, which it essentially did because
Well, yeah.
the whole chairman thing kind of
With
like
Cody, yes.
with the Cody incident that died down really quick. So,
Mm.
but now that it looks like the pinnacle is going to be no more eventually, or maybe it'll just be Sean Spears and MJF as
MJF,
some
yeah.
kind of like this like mini faction, just them two. But
Yeah, basically be Sean Spears, be MJF's stool or something, you know. Have him just be there for, I guess, not comical purposes, but I guess just to not have AJ.
His lackey. His lackey.
It's
Yeah,
a
his
lackey
lackey.
guy.
That's the word I was looking for. Yes, his lackey, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know why nothing works though with Sean Spears. Same stuff kind of happened with him in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You had the whole 10 thing, but even then, that came nothing out of it.
Yeah, he looked like he was over with the crowd. All the whole crowd chanting the 10, 10, 10, but never amounted to anything. So,
No, that's the problem. Yep.
so it
Maybe
doesn't
it's
look like
just
it's a
his-
booking issue.
No, maybe it's just him. Maybe he just has like that bad luck where whatever gimmick you put on him. I mean, look, I think even though he's going under I think it's Sean Spears' his real name.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's not. Or it is, or
I believe so.
I'm not sure.
okay. Well, let's say it is. I mean, obviously, I think that it's way over than Ty Dillinger.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's what he was known
Right.
as in WWE. So
The perfect 10.
yeah, I don't know. He, like I said, he has to be put with somebody. Either he's an okay mid carder. I mean, you know, there's nothing. He doesn't have to be a main event. You know, there's nowhere
Yeah.
that says he has to be a main event. He could be a good mid carder. You know, maybe he can main event the dark shows. You know, maybe put him more on dark because you know a lot of times dark main events are like two top like main roster guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
His name is Ronnie William Arneal.
oh, there you go.
Okay, so
yeah.
that's why he doesn't use his real name.
No, that's it.
What do you guys think about Eddie Kingston coming out with that LAX promo? Well, with
Yeah.
the proud and powerful Santana and Ortiz.
Right.
I think there's something there. I think there's something can be done with these guys. They're all three good on the mic. They're all three have a history back with LAX and the Impact. I think it's time we see proud and powerful get a title run.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that them going back and forth with FTR.
Oh yeah,
That's good. That's money right there.
And
And
don't
the
give me the bullshit
promos with
of the bar fights.
Kingston. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but that was because of the Stadium Stampede. That was the Stadium Stampede, right? The bar
Yeah,
fight.
it was a part of that. The 5-on-5.
The Stadium Stampede. Yeah.
But
But
we
I mean,
actually see them in the ring. Yeah.
Eddie Kingston, though, is completely fire. I personally find Eddie Kingston a lot better than Pride and Powerful in terms of promo wise.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Pride and Powerful are necessarily that great there, but with Eddie Kingston behind them, definitely it was fire promo. I don't think Eddie Kingston has done one bad promo since he's been there. So
You know what I noticed with him though is that which is cool because a lot of times when you move a guy from faction to faction to faction, he's already done what I think 3 now. You know, he was teaming with Moxley, then he was with
The Butcher, the Blade.
Butcher and Blade, then he was with the Lucha Bros, and then he kind of back and forth. But it just seems like it worked every time, no matter what scenario you put him in. And so, what's cool about it is that he could be essentially Santana Ortiz's mouthpiece, but he could work too.
Mm-hmm.
He can put on a hell of a match, and I think we've all seen that.
And
So
everybody he works with, he elevates.
Yeah.
So anybody that gets to when Tony Khan tells you, okay, you're going to be working with Eddie Kingston, anybody that hears that should be happy because it's going to, most of the time, like Jeff just said, it's going to work. So that was.
he's pretty much the opposite of Sean Spears.
Yeah. Yes. And he doesn't look great, you know, especially wearing that top tank top tights. You see him, he looks out of shape. But
Right.
he performs in between the ropes and he performs on the mic. So there's you cannot not use Eddie Kingston because everything he does works. So
Right.
I'm sure they would love Tony Khan. Would love for him to lose a bit of weight, get a bit more cut, because he just could be that much. They could sell him even that much more, but they don't need to because he's just that damn good.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, look, Kevin. I think the argument was made for Kevin Owens years ago, and I think they kind of now. I think he's lost weight since.
Yeah,
but I mean, Kevin Owens seemed to work regardless of his size. So, and I'll take Kevin Owens. I'll take Eddie Kingston over Kevin Owens just on the fact that they can both work, but promo wise, Eddie Kingston's awesome. So
yeah, because Eddie Kingston is one of the best. Kevin Owens is very good on the mic too, but just Eddie Kingston is just fire every time he touches that mic. So there's
because he could be him.
Yeah.
No script.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Where do you see them going from here for Eddie?
I'm still waiting for Homicide to pop in.
Nah,
because the other 3.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be there. I mean,
no, but wasn't that the other LAX with?
Well, it was Hernandez and Homicide. Yeah,
because
exactly.
Homicide, he's a free agent now.
Yeah, but you don't want to add him. I think he'll just get lost in the shuffle though, because he'll get his crowd pop. He'll be the pop. Maybe he'll be their manager. Because I mean, does he really work much still, or?
He does a few indie shows, but nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
because now they have a rivalry with Jericho's.
Yeah,
and they're 4, so either way, they're gonna have we need a 4th person.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's true. I didn't see it that way, but you're right. Yes, they are only 3, and the JAS.
Even if it's for that few, just for that segment.
No, but even if he's part of that faction, already there's too many factions. I think in AEW, even though they work, but I don't want it to be get overboard like New Japan is. You know, because New Japan is just filled with factions. But
yes, a lot.
I think I would see Homicide maybe more as their manager. Kind of like in the background. He wrestles every now and then, but
maybe have one or 2 matches, but basically be his mouthpiece. Because or else he'll end up after 2-3 weeks, after that momentum of the first few weeks, first appearances, he'll be shuffled on Dark and Elevation, and it'll be.
Because I think they're going to
come out with the trio.
Well, they're going to California in June, right?
Oh, that's that's the plan. Yeah.
So I mean, that would make sense having him debut in June. Get over with the California crowd. Yeah,
it's a possibility. Yeah, it's a possibility. We definitely need to see something from these crews.
I also feel like they can take it off Jungle Express there.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this before. Yeah, I agree with that.
Who's Jungle Express?
Oh, Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express.
Jesus.
I was asking the same question.
I knew it was with a J. Leave me alone.
Yeah, because I think it's time for give us Jungle Boy Jack Perry singles push. I think it's time for that. So yeah.
But I see them dropping it to a heel tag team, though, not another face tag team, unless it's another three-way. Like if it's a three-way tag team match, I can see them maybe like FTR winning it because let's say maybe Santana or Ortiz are involved in it. So you have to have a heel or maybe like two guys from what's it called 2.0. You know, like maybe have 2.0 in there with FTR and Jurassic Express, or as Justin called them, Jungle Express. But
Also,
to have those three kind of makes sense because you to have three faces in the match.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen, and I don't think FTR can as baby faces, because we see the turn happening, beat Jungle Express. So I think in a triple threat with 2.0 or with the Young Bucks can.
there's also Red Dragon guys, huh?
Oh yeah.
Was
so
that
maybe a fatal four-way? The Red Dragon also, O'Reilly and Fish. So maybe a fatal four-way, that type of thing, and have FTR, because I think FTR can go around with all three different belts with the AAA, ROH, and AEW. I think that would elevate them even more than they are, and it would cement them as what they're selling themselves as the best tag team in the history and the best tag team in the world. So I guess
it's going to elevate the AEW more too.
Oh yes, guaranteed.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Especially if they want to start branching out into other markets, because the 3-year anniversary is coming up. I think now they're starting to go to other states. I mean, I think they've been to Vegas. So coming more out in the West Coast, kind of covering all of the United States, other places, maybe Canada.
Can't wait, man.
Yeah, it would be good. I think a few dates, maybe try it out. I would love to see AEW at the Place Bell. I think it would be a perfect venue for them. 10,000 people, you sell it out. I don't know now that WWE does events at the Place Bell. Do they have exclusivity like they have Madison Square Garden and things like that? I don't know.
Well, no, wasn't the ROH at MSG? Haven't ROH been at MSG?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
think
when they did
or were they in Brooklyn?
No, it was at MSG when they did the thing with New Japan.
Yeah,
I don't think
the Super Card. Yeah, the Super Card of Honor a few years ago. Yes.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's like a set in stone. You can't go there. I think it's more of the promoter might not want to because Vince will get angry or might potentially get angry and lose business. But it's not like you can't or you'll get sued sort of deal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just more of a, Vince might get angry, so next time he does come, maybe he'll go somewhere else.
Well, AEW's done. They've done the United Center. That's like the biggest state arena that Chicago has, and I mean that's the WWE has been there dozens of times. Now, granted, it's not the same name as MSG, but I mean I don't think so. I know what you mean. Like I get where you're going with it, but
no. But if like you guys reminded me, ROH and New Japan did that show on MSG, and MSG is more symbolic because that's known to be the home of Vince McMahon, the home that his father built. That was their territory. So if they were able to do that card there, then I guess they would be able to do the card anywhere. As long, like JLB said, I guess it's more of a thing of negotiations with the promoter, so nobody is butthurt and doesn't lose business.
And they have a lot of Canadian superstars as well. So
yeah, I think it would sell out no matter where. I think Montreal could be a good first because the wrestling scene here in Montreal is big. We're not as popular, not as popular, but as much population as Toronto. But for a core hardcore wrestling fans, Montreal's got it. So I think that's the type of fans that AEW are chasing.
Stu Grayson and Evil Uno will definitely be over. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, 2.0. 2.0.
2.02. Yeah.
Those guys, especially those four guys, would be They probably have a dark match between those
With
guys.
like one of the, or you also have like probably a few IWS guys do a bunch of dark matches. AEW
Yeah.
brings in a few IWS guys.
Yeah.
So all those guys were from IWS too and whatnot, and probably other Montreal federations do there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it would. I was supposed to go see them in Long Island. I think, and that's where Brody was supposed to officially make his appearance or his debut, rather.
Rochester.
No, that was Buffalo, Rochester.
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 Excuse me, Rochester.
That was before
But-
the pandemic, right?
Well,
Yeah.
but then it got canceled because
Mhm.
it was right on the pandemic. So
You were gonna go to see AEW?
yeah, I was. Well, my friend got tickets, and he was his friend bailed, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go," and then I'm like, "Oh, how you getting there?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna bus it," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Cool, I'll go too." So we were all gonna plan on going, and then pandemic hit, and then he wasn't gonna go anymore, and I think it got canceled anyways. So we didn't end up going.
I think it's more that the border just didn't want you to come in the country.
Oh, that's possible too.
Yeah, they
They
faked the
won't be able to
pandemic.
handle
To keep,
me.
they faked the pandemic to keep JLB out of the state.
Exactly. They're like, oh, we can't let this guy in. He
You
looks
know what?
shady.
If they created all of this just to keep me out of the country, kudos to them. Hard work does pay off. Well done, guys.
You're that important, Jay.
I'm
You're
that important.
What do you guys think about the tables match and the specification of the rules in AEW where they specify that the table must be broken only during an offensive move?
I think it's
Makes sense, right?
And
Makes
it was single elimination too, wasn't it?
Yeah, which
And-
is cool.
Yeah, that I like.
That's what I
Okay.
didn't understand though, because they did announce that as single elimination, right? That both have to be eliminated, and
Right.
that the guy that gets eliminated is out. But then they both got involved. The two guys that got
yeah.
they both got involved. So
Yeah, because there's no
Because
DQ.
because
okay, because there's no DQ. That's right.
No DQ. So
They
so
shouldn't
that's
do
kind
it.
of what makes it a little bit confusing. I think you should maybe do like you have to maybe hit 3 tables on them kind of thing, like 3 offensive moves on 3 different tables, maybe do like a thing like that. I kind of like it. It's a little play off of something different from a tables match, but it just makes it silly stupid that the other guy can still end up helping out anyways, even though he was eliminated.
Mhm.
So they have to figure something else with that because
I don't mind. I don't mind it because it was different. You know, because usually the tables matches is like, okay, one guy goes for the table, end of match.
It's over.
And it's
yeah.
always these false, like.
Oh, I
not
love
false
the
finishes,
eliminations. I
Yeah.
love the eliminations. It's just if the guy's eliminated, he can still get involved in the match, which I find a little
Yeah.
silly.
He should be sent backstage or
Sent
whatever.
backstage or something. Like I get why they do it because it's no DQ anyways, but then at the I don't know. I don't mind it at all. It's completely cool.
I definitely like the fact that it has to be an offensive move because then,
Yeah.
like Jeff was saying, you get to see more than one table break
Exactly.
in the match. You see when he got out of the way and he ran through the table. The commentators were very clear. This doesn't count as elimination. So I like that aspect that you see at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We saw 5 table breaks. So in a tables match where you used to see only one, bang, it's over.
on
I guess-
TV, on top of it, not even on pay per view. So
Yeah, exactly. So I like the idea. I like the idea, and I like the way they put it together. So,
Yeah,
kudos.
definitely different. So I enjoyed that.
And our main event, which was another great
Fire.
match. FTR put 2 top matches in a matter of a week. Probably 2 candidates for match of the year. And this one was maybe what people have been waiting for a while that they've been asking for is the part 2 to the FTR Young Bucks. What do you guys think about that main event?
I loved it. Anything with FDR, I love, to be honest with you. So
No, it was fun. It was good. A lot of back and forth. It lasted quite a while, but kept me guessing all the way through. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like the point that FTR did the BTE trigger.
yes, I saw.
That was fun right before they did their finisher. So
Do they sell those the entrance jackets the FTR came in on that episode?
I don't think so because I've been trying to get the inner circle cuts and I never see them for sale.
Because
So,
that jacket, I love those jackets. Man. My wife is not in
Yeah,
it yet. I know you
but
do, but
but keep
I
in
love.
mind, they're if anything, because I know WWE has a few, right? And
yeah.
if they're gonna, if it's kind of the same material, whatnot, they go for like about the 180, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're expensive.
be
Yeah, yeah.
prepared to.
Okay, your point is
All right, just
Ooh,
saying.
Oh, John's a high roller here,
I
Justin.
high roll.
make it rain, baby.
Yeah.
My bad.
So
Apologies.
getting to the match, I think what I like is sometimes it's always a chance you're taking with two teams that have two different styles. You have
Mm.
one team that's more high flyer, one's more like kind of
Ground based.
on the mat,
Technical.
on the ground.
Mhm.
One's old school, one spot.
Yeah, and I know sometimes I've kind of gotten fed up of Young Bucks matches, especially when they wrestle teams that are very similar to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, okay, we know they're gonna like that stupid double drop kick spot that they do that I think is silly, but when you have, but it just worked. It worked really well, and no, they're not. I'm not taking anything away from the Young Bucks. I think they're still a good enough tag team. They're not my favorite in AEW,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
but that was a good match. They definitely know how to put on a good match. It was back and forth. Good way to
Especially
end.
when you see those matches like against Lucha Bros. A lot of those spots are the same spots they've done before.
It's a spot match, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. I was thinking about the Lucha Bros, but that even though that cage match was as good as it was, it
Mhm.
was just a spot fest. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, what can we do now? What can we do now? What can we do now? It got
Moving
over.
from one spot to another. There was
Yeah,
no build up in the match, no psychology. Yes, I
yeah.
understand what you're saying, and I agree. Yeah.
It was a good match overall. That, but then to have a tag team that's completely different from their style is also refreshing to see too. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
I enjoyed it. I think we're done with unless there's like we were saying before, unless it's a fatal four way type of thing. I think the Young Bucks and FTR. I don't know how many times you can do that match, that one on one. Well, tag team. I mean, yeah, one on one. I don't know how they can continue that. I guess I would like
Imagine,
to see move on from that.
imagine if they did that. Those two teams with like I don't know, Red Dragon and like a TLC match.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. I would like them. They haven't done a TLC match yet, right? In AEW.
Never that I know.
So
Well,
I'm sure they'll find
they've
another
done
name. For it.
the something similar to it, I guess, the Face of the Revolution match.
Yeah, but not an attack team.
No,
Oh,
yeah, not a tag team. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
The Face of the Revolution is more like a Money in the
Ladder.
Bank match, right?
That's
yeah,
more
I
money in the
guess.
bank
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I guess with the chairs and the ladders
Yeah.
and the tables, what Edge and Christian and the Hardys accustom us to, that's what would be interesting for them to go. I'm sure they'll find another name because Tony Khan likes to find other names for these matches, like
Hopefully, it's better than Blood and Guts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blood
That
and
was
Guts. I think
you didn't like that?
Oh, I liked it. I just don't like. I don't like the name. I find the name.
Well, because you can't call it War Games.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Blood and Guts is okay. I personally don't like the match on cable TV though. Too many freaking commercials that kind of got
Yeah.
annoying. Definitely have it for maybe your like Battle of the Belts kind of special event or whatever, where there's not as many commercials, sort of deal. But
Mhm.
Blood and Guts was cool, but having like 5 commercials throughout the entire match was just a bit much. It
Has
was
to be
yeah.
pay per view.
yeah.
Really,
Definitely.
I really want Khan. I don't know if WWE has the name, the license for it, but I would really enjoy if Khan got the name of the World War III.
Oh, about what's going on in the world, I don't think that would happen.
No,
Yeah.
but I know that's not. But in the sense of the
Oh, with the 3 rings,
the
60-man
rings,
battle royal. Yeah.
something interesting.
Well, wait, they used Bash at the Beach and they got away with it.
They used it once, and then they went to court. Now it's
Oh, they went to court. Okay, yeah.
now it's Beach Break.
Beach Break. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, it's true. They did go to court and they had to. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, now it's Beach
That's
Break.
right. That's right.
Okay. You don't have to call it maybe world. Yeah, but that concept. You mean
concept,
like the
that's what I
3-ring
meant.
battle royal? Hey, listen, they have a shitload of wrestlers on
That's
the
it.
roster,
So like, even if you do like AEW versus Ring of Honor
and New Japan.
and New Japan,
Oh yeah.
there you go.
Oh
man.
yeah.
I mean,
20
we
guys from AEW, 20 guys from New Japan, 20 guys from ROH.
Yeah.
New Japan, you just bring the whole Bullet Club right there. Boom.
Yeah, you're halfway through the 20
You're
guys
half-
right
you
there.
already have 20 of them.
and honestly, you can even do it with just AEW guys, with all the guys they
Yeah.
have on Elevation,
Oh, yeah.
Dark, and all that, and the amount of people that aren't really necessarily being used right now.
Mhm.
You can definitely have you can have already enough guys just with AEW. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to see AEW versus ROH versus New Japan. That does sound pretty good.
I think it's gonna come because I know we spoke about this before. Khan is planning something big with a stadium. We don't know when, but it's coming.
Yeah, I think it's working. Yeah, you see these little deals happening here and there with New Japan, with the Impact, the Forbidden Door, buying ROH. You see there's something brewing there in them working together. I guess they didn't work out the details yet, and the negotiations haven't been all the way through. But I guess that's what they're working for.
And,
And
they have a stadium.
Yeah, exactly. They have the
Yeah.
stadium already. So
Exactly.
I don't
So,
know if
yeah.
I don't know if Jacksonville's like a big enough market to where like, you're gonna attract like huge, like like a huge
fill the stadium.
yeah kind of thing. Where I think if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was, let's say, maybe Vegas or something where the Raiders play, that would make sense. You can kind of like where they do double or nothing or. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be saving money, right? It's your own
Yeah.
stadium, so I think they could. I mean, they
And
do
even
this-
then, if you make like travel packages too, right, that are like decent priced, I'm sure it can be convincing for other people to want to go there, sort of ordeal too. Hey, get these tickets with travel package, 2-day hotel kind of ordeal.
Have a bit of a
sort of thing
WrestleMania
too.
feel to it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
access, something like that. Yeah.
a big event, so people will travel to go see it. Yeah.
Talking about that, they're technically they want to bring back All In.
Yes, now that they have the rights to it. Yeah.
So they're saying that All In might be their version of WrestleMania.
Oh,
okay at a stadium, yeah. Okay,
So it's a
because
perfect
the Young
name.
Bucks,
All
the Young
In.
Bucks did put in their bio. I thought we were gonna do All In too, talking about
Yeah.
Cody. So yeah, there's been some hints they're gonna bring that back, and I'm pretty sure they are.
And it's
It makes sense to bring
and
that
it's
back.
a perfect name if you do all three brands because all,
all
in.
in, yeah,
Yeah,
makes
yes,
sense.
So,
yeah, that's right. It
We'll
makes
see.
perfect sense.
and all
You're
in
right, yeah.
all in is in December or is it I don't
Well,
remember.
All Out is in August, and All In was in August also, or I think the
Well,
first weekend of September, something
I
like
wouldn't
that.
be surprised if they do something around the same time as SummerSlam.
Yeah, probably not the same weekend, but probably around the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
have their big show. Yeah,
Oh,
revolve
you
around
could you could still do it because let's face it, SummerSlam isn't what it was. As long
No.
as you don't interfere with Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, that they're completely, even if it's okay, like not the same weekend, but maybe a week after.
Yeah,
You're still within that week time frame. So like having their grand event that time of the year.
hmm
I mean, listen, Starcade was always in December, and that was
Yeah.
WCW's big event. So and that
Yeah.
always worked well for them. So.
It was around Christmas time. I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. Starcade was always in December, and it was what they called their WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starcade at the strong point of
Starcade 96,
WCW. So Rampage, have you watched Rampage, Big Red?
I did.
Oh yes.
Hey.
So at 10 o'clock, because this week coming up, it will be at 7 special start time. I think it's because of basketball playoffs, could be. But next weekend, next Friday is going to be at 7. This week it didn't do good again, so we have like 400 something thousand viewers and a .18 in the key demo.
But
Go ahead.
next Friday it's the not Battle of the Belts. It's Saturday, the Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
So it's Friday and Saturday.
Well, Friday's Rampage at 7, and then
Okay.
Saturday Battle of the Belts. Yeah.
Okay. Good
And
thing.
I think they even said it's a special live Rampage. So I
Do we-
guess they're gonna be doing it from the venue where they're doing Battle of the Belts, right?
Are we gonna do? Or do we catch it?
Well, I think it will be on TNT, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
sure.
it's probably going to be on TSN though, for sure.
Maybe on TSN. That's what I meant.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because it's going to be on TNT. I'm sure TSN has all the rights to whatever AEW plays on TNT, so we should be good.
Not Rampage.
I don't know why they haven't
Well,
been
no.
playing it recently. I don't
Well,
know
I
why.
don't know.
There's nothing.
I feel like they just make it on the TSN app now for some reason. They rather just play their Sports Center or whatever the
Yeah,
hell.
at 10
so-
o'clock. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
But as far as the low rating is concerned, I mean, it's not the first time it's happened where they've had special start times and the ratings were kind of low, especially at 10 o'clock. Who the hell's going to really pay
Exactly.
attention?
No, that's it. It's the
On a,
10
on a,
o'clock.
on
that
a
hurts them,
Friday,
guaranteed.
a Friday night at 10 from 10 to 11.
Well, I mean, you, Jeff, you would watch.
Yeah, so
Oh shit!
I'm just saying. You said who the hell is gonna watch? I'm saying you.
well, we know you don't
the
watch
casual
it.
fan.
I watch. What are you talking about? I just have to go get it off the app there.
Yeah.
One job.
I watch it at my work, so I really don't mind. But
Well,
it's at 10 o'clock. It's a bit of a dead period at work, so I'm okay. but I see how people, it's Friday night. You're gonna go out. You're gonna go to supper. You're gonna bring your wife somewhere. I can see how it's harder to go get all your fans. The more casual fans won't watch. You're gonna have
'Cause
your hardcore fans, but not your casual ones. Yeah.
Because most of Rampage is like, I mean, they haven't had crazy numbers, but most of their success has always been usually it's 8 o'clock on Fridays.
Usually it's 10.
Yeah. Usually
Also,
10.
it usually is 10.
Usually it's 10. It's right after SmackDown. So sometimes they've had good numbers when they started. Well, the first when CM Punk came, I guess that's the one that reached 1 million. That's the only time it reached 1 million. Then you have a special when it started. Special start time at 7. Also did okay numbers. The problem is definitely the 10 o'clock slot.
and that's the only time that we catched it on TSN.
Yeah.
I think the big problem is the fact that it's on TNT because of the fact that TNT has the license for NBA. Because that's what screwed over Dynamite a bunch of times too. When Dynamite had to be pushed back because of basketball, why can't they just have just have everything? I mean, you have a TNT title, so I mean, you're not going to just transition all your all your programming on TBS, even though it's the exact same network. But I mean, to maybe have Rampage on a different night of the week.
That would be an option. Or like we've said before, I think the 7 o'clock time slot on Friday is perfect.
Yeah.
You have right before SmackDown starts. People are still home. They just finished supper. They're still at home. It's a good time to watch. You finish watching that. You watch SmackDown, and then you go out for your
as long as it doesn't interfere with basketball.
And also, basketball starts at 8 usually.
Yeah, 7:30,
so
8 o'clock.
For that, yeah.
I never understood why they never try to do anything on Saturday though. Try to recreate that like Saturday morning wrestling, or like it starts at 11 from 11 to 12 or 12 to 1. Like, people are home usually, I guess, unless they obviously work weekends or whatnot. I don't know. I think it might be a good attempt to try. Nothing plays during that time at all, ever.
Nope.
No basketball, no sports, no nothing. So I don't know.
Masters right now,
and maybe it's a good way to grow your young audience.
Yeah,
because obviously 10 o'clock on a Friday night, you're gonna have no 6-year-olds watching that.
because what are people doing from 12 to 1 aside from listening to us on Sunday?
Other than watch European soccer, maybe
European soccer, getting over a hangover,
over a hangover, yes. That's about it. Football, when the NFL season's in full pin, they start at 1. So you
even though that's on Sunday, so if you do it on Saturday,
that's right. That's
good.
Right. Yeah,
that's the playoffs.
That's fair.
Yes.
So,
but that's only a few weeks. It's 2 or 3 weeks, so it wouldn't be that much of a time. I think it's something they could look into having a Saturday morning 11 o'clock.
It's too late. Or just make it Friday earlier, man.
Isn't it pre-taped anyway?
It's pre-taped as well. That's why you can literally put it anywhere you want. And then if you do want to make it live, like, okay, I don't know, just make it earlier. Make it for 6.
Yeah, they do it live when it's on the weekend of a pay-per-view, right? So that's usually what happens. Or when they have an event like Battle of the Belts next Saturday. So they'll do it live on the Friday. But it's a shame because we most of the time, we have at least guaranteed 2 great matches on Rampage.
We do.
Most of the time. So, like Beretta Danielson was a very good match on this week's.
Who?
This week. Trent Beretta versus Brian Danielson.
Yes. I was like,
are you sure you watched Rampage this week?
no, because he cut, and I just heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I heard his
So
last.
yeah, but Trent, I
Yeah.
always like Trent. I think Trent works better as a singles than a tag team. At least in my humble opinion. And Danielson is just probably the GOAT, probably Danielson there. I think that was a great match, great psychology. The commentators did a good job on the. I also like the commentating team on Rampage better than I do on Dynamite.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
JR doesn't do it for me no more, man.
No, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't deal with Starks. I'm sorry.
Well, Starks actually didn't.
Oh, he's good though. He's not bad. He's
He's
good.
not
Mm.
bad, but he
Stay in the
doesn't
ring.
talk much. He's the one that talks the least though there, because you have
Yeah, he
Taz,
doesn't say
Excalibur, and
much.
Chris Jericho. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love Taz. I always loved Taz.
Taz is good. But usually I have not much. Usually the first match on Rampage doesn't have much in the significance in the storytelling aspect, because like Trent, Beretta, and Danielson, I guess you have a bit of the storytelling with the Yuta best friends clique.
Right.
Having Trent never liked Yuta and saying that he's a traitor, whatever. So I guess there is a connection there. But yeah, I found a very good match. I think it's the type of matches they want to promote on Rampage, and I think if they do that, it's going to keep on working. At least the wrestling aspect of it.
Well,
Maybe not
if
the ratings.
anything, that was the entire show, no? Because wasn't it Moxley versus
Yeah, Mox
Yuta?
versus Yuta at the end.
At
It
the
was
main event?
just
So
in between. In between, you had a bit of the
Red Velvet.
Sammy.
No?
Yes,
Oh.
Red Velvet. Yes, I forgot. I didn't even write it down in my notes. That's how much
You
I.
bastard.
But match with Velvet and Wallow.
Yeah,
I was
Willow.
impressed by Wallow, whatever her name is.
I loved
Yeah.
her. I loved her. To be honest with you.
I wasn't expecting much, and I was impressed. So
Yeah, I was more entertained by Willow than Red Velvet.
Yeah, because the Red Velvet, I really don't care.
yeah,
She's all right. It's just I feel like Willow did better than her
Yeah,
in the matchup, and I
In the
was
match,
just
she
like,
did.
and she had the crowd.
yeah, and I'm like, who is this Willow person? Why have I
Ring of
not
Honor.
seen her? And why is she better than Red Velvet?
She's in Ring of Honor.
Because she's always on dark.
She's in Ring of Honor.
There we go. Oh,
Oh,
she's
she's
Ring
Ring
of Honor.
Okay.
She's in Ring of
okay.
Honor. Yeah.
Isn't she the one that lost the belt to
She was in a part of the Fatal 4 match in Supercard, I believe.
I know she's wrestled on dark a lot.
But didn't somebody from AEW win the women's ROH title?
I can't answer you.
And I think she beat Willow or whatever, however you. pronounce
Doesn't
it.
it's not Diana Perrazzo? That's the ROH Women's Champion.
Impact? She's Impact.
No, but I thought she had like 2 belts, like for multiple companies.
She has the Queen of.
AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's it. Before I move on to the main event, do you guys hear the same thing I hear when Sami Zayn is on the mic or something?
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. Are the fans? Yes, Sammy Guevara. Are the fans turning on Sammy?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah. I mean, he sucks.
Yeah.
Well, he's good. He's good in the ring. He's good in the ring. He's off. He's not good on the mic, but
he's high
good in the ring.
spots. He's the
Well,
king
yes.
of it's his high spots.
I was never a fan of Sammy.
No, I
He is a
never.
spot. He is a spot getter there.
He got over for one reason,
She was with
because
Jericho.
he was in the forgot the name of that
Inner
faction
Circle.
now. Inner Circle. That's the only thing I got him over. He had his little run with the TNT title. Miro was hurt, so fine, but I mean, I think they could have chose someone else for Miro to drop the belt to. Now they're putting him with Ty, because I think Ty is still one of the females that's still over. So that's what's keeping Sammy relevant.
I don't think, but it's making him relevant, but I don't think it's helping him.
And I don't even think it's really helping Ty, to be honest.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I think it's not helping both of them. I think
Both
it's
of
hurting
them,
both of
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Especially that
Because
future
Ty
date.
was over, and now you see she's getting booed. You see.
How do you
she's
say sexist pig in Portuguese? Dan Lambert. What the fuck, man? I don't care, guys. Get out of here.
What was I
Dan
going to say?
Lambert.
The I noticed it too, that she doesn't really tag with Anna Jay very much anymore. It's been
No.
mostly Ruby Soho tagging with
Yeah.
Anna Jay.
on Dark and then Elevation. Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
where
they're
Ruby's been. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It
where
seems
is
like
Ruby?
they're building this story around the Sammy and Ty. They thought it was going to get over because people were talking about it, gossiping about it when they announced that they were together. but I think it's
We don't care.
or the desired effect. I think it's having the contrary. What they did with that belt, which actually Cody talks about it in the
Yeah.
press conference.
I saw that.
He kind of says they're denigrating the TNT belt by basically doing a porno with the belt. So and he's like, "Come on,
Really?
Sammy."
He's
He
not
looks at
wrong.
the camera and he says, "Come on, Sammy."
He's
So
not wrong. He's not wrong.
no, he isn't wrong, and I think that had played a role with why fans are starting to boo them. This whole during the commercial cue card thing that was over a few months ago. This past week when he did it was completely getting booed because on the on the site, no, on the stream that I watch, usually they go on. They don't
Mhm.
go to break, so I think it's the feed from England or something. So
Yeah,
they
I don't
don't
know
go
why that happens, but I love it.
Yeah,
It's
me too. I
just
love
like
it.
the
And
perfect thing.
and the commentators continue commentating on the match. So it's
Sometimes they're silent though for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
And
Um,
and when you and most of AEW fans, when you think of TNT, you guys we think of Brody Lee. So
yeah, definitely. Brody Lee
Yeah.
or Cody is usually who you think when you think
right
TNT
there,
title.
Miro had a great run with the belt too.
Yeah, not okay,
yes, but
run. Okay.
I'm more talking about of the picture that they.
Yeah.
Man, anytime anyone goes high pitch with that, yeah, you know he was not thinking.
You know,
Yeah. I'm like, oh Jesus.
but yeah, I don't think it's working out. So they shouldn't be. I don't know. They shouldn't have done that, and it might hurt. It might hurt Sammy in the long run. So
Yeah, well, who cares?
Because where does he go from now? Where does he go for like to not like he's not in the faction anymore. He's by himself. Where does he go for now?
it's
Nowhere else to go from.
you have to find the perfect opponent and the perfect rivalry. They go
Mhm.
back and forth, tell a good story, and
That's it.
maybe he still has a
Maybe
chance.
him and Jungle Boy. You know what I mean? Do like a
Hey,
thing with him.
yep.
That would be fire. They both kind of don't know how to talk on the mic though. So
Sorry.
yeah, they both don't know how to talk on
Wait
the mic.
a minute.
that much.
Who went high pitch? Was it me?
Well,
who
someone
sounded-
went high pitch.
Oh, I don't
know,
remember it
someone-
being me. Okay, that's why I was
This is-
confusing.
that's-
Who-
No,
why
no,
was-
no. It was what's his face? KC.
Oh,
When
okay.
he was disagreeing.
What's his
with
face? He's
people.
right there. What's his face?
because you smile and nod. You know, like yeah, I'm okay with it, but I don't 100% agree. Yeah, type of thing.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't want to say you're wrong. I'll agree. Yeah, it's fine. It is what it is.
But yeah, Wheeler Yuta guys, this match.
They should just call him Yuta.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I guess maybe is there somebody in New Japan that's already called Yuta? Could it be?
Well, could be.
I think I remember hearing that name, but I think
OMG.
the arc of these three matches they had, right? The first one was a squash, really fast. Second one, Yuta looked really good, but fell short. And this one was the climax of these three matches. It was perfect. It was perfect for the story they're telling. The close pins or the close finishes, sorry, were amazing. A few times there, I thought he was out, and he kicked out of the paradigm shift twice.
Right. Amazing.
So yeah, that match was good. The Clemson mask made it better. Even though I do think that the AEW does the blood thing a bit too much, but it felt good in this match. I was really impressed with Yuta, and it looks like after the match, it looked like even Mox was impressed. Like looking at him, like "fuck, man."
But did you hear what Mox said to him after the match?
Yes, when he after he shook Regal's hand, yeah. I remember reading his lips. He said, "No, oh yeah, now you've made it to this part. Now let's see what you have, if you can live up to what's coming up next. I guess."
Yeah,
Yeah, but I still don't want him to be a part of the Black Bull Combat Club. Like, just have it those three guys with William, like those two and William Regal, and that's it.
I think Yuta dead.
You know, like if you had to use this to build up Wheeler Yuta as a singles guy, then okay, it makes sense. But don't put him in the faction.
Well, I think he is in the faction.
Well, he's definitely being respected by them for now.
They just shook hands. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, one could assume he's in the faction, but it doesn't
Because
necessarily
Moxley,
mean.
Moxley also said this is where the hard work starts.
Yes.
So
Yes, exactly. That's what he said. Yeah.
Hey, you never know. Maybe he can be put in the faction, and then that faction turns heel, and then they kick him out, and that's when Wheeler Yuta kind of goes off on his own.
Yeah, that could
'Cause
happen.
he's
also.
he's well. I mean, look, how much is he going to be really on a part of AEW now? Because isn't he the ROH Pure champion?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
He's
he,
ROH
so
Pure
there you go.
champion,
So
yeah.
maybe that kind of goes into like a little bit the point I made where you put him over, so now he could go maybe be a bigger star in ROH, make his name go out there. So he doesn't have to be a part of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Blackpool Combat Club could use a younger guy that like kind of student to them part because Rigo is like a teacher to them, and then they could be like a mentor to the younger guy.
Yeah,
But I definitely think what Jeff is saying makes sense. You want to put him over, you want to get name recognition, so then when you send him to ROH and has his matches in ROH, people are he's already over there. So yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's a possibility for Yuta too, because he's very young, right?
Yeah, he's in his early 20s.
Early 20s, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so
And he's been wrestling for a long time though. No,
Yeah.
technically.
I think he started wrestling like in his teenage years. Yeah,
Yeah,
He started at 16, 15.
and it's also good for best friends to kind of like not be so like just have a shitload of guys that you. I mean, you know, they put Statlander in there. Then okay, fine. He was the replacement for Trent when Trent was injured. But now Danhausen, that I don't agree with. I think Danhausen should be completely by himself. I'm a huge fan of Danhausen. I think he's hilarious. I've seen some of his work. I think it's good. So I mean, best
has
friends
he wrestled?
No, he hasn't wrestled yet. No.
Okay. So I guess they're keeping that for a big moment, right?
Yeah, because I think he was on there. They have the podcast there, the AEW Unrestricted, and I think he kind of alluded to it that it's soon. You know that his injury. Cause I think he has a steel rod in his leg.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, because he spoke about his injury that his leg snapped. So he was at a pretty serious injury, you know. So I think he's great. That adds it's a part of like a comedy part of the show, but it's different because already he was over. Danhausen was over before he even came to AEW.
I didn't know him, but I was told by these guys, by Justin and by other friends of mine, that this guy is really big on social media. So he was already over.
The fact that like I love the interaction he has with the Gun Club and he calling him the Ass Boys. I think it's hilarious. But it makes sense though. It's not like the comedy kind of like where like you kind of like Our Truth. Our Truth was like funny, haha, and then all of a sudden you're kind of like, okay, I'm sick and tired of seeing this.
Right.
So he's telling a story, Danhausen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's
well, we are building a rivalry here with something, maybe not a rivalry, but a program or something with Hook, right? Because it's twice he tries to curse him and it doesn't work out. He's like, oh, it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work. So that seems like interesting. And man, they make Hook look cool, man. Fuck, with his earphones, his backpack.
They just look him like They just make him look like a lazy millennial, like a hardcore like.
But it's weird though because it's like he's a part of Team Taz, but he kind of isn't.
Right.
Well,
he's a baby face. He's a baby face, and they're heels.
Because you never see him with Powerhouse Hobbs or Starks anymore. It's always
but that's why it's weird. Is because it's like Taz puts over Starks and Hobbs, and obviously he's going to put over his son, which makes sense. And there you go. John's gone, so it's just me and KC. But there you go. You see, now it's two guys because I think John sometimes he feeds off of Justin, and it doesn't make sense. So now it's two guys that make sense.
Shots fired.
I'm kidding. But it's kind of a weird thing. It's almost like, obviously he's going to put over his son, but yet he's kind of like heel face. It's where's that working with Team Taz?
Like he doesn't want to be there. He didn't even want to comment on or commentate whatever on his son's first match because he feels like he wouldn't be fair, right? He can't do his job completely because he has a huge bias there.
And he doesn't. And what I like about what Taz does is that when he does commentate on Hook's stuff, he's not overselling it.
Right.
Like he's commentating it as if he's commentating like any other match.
Or he's explaining the moves that he's doing, type of thing.
Because
Yeah.
Because
he
he knows
taught it to
the
his
repertoire.
son, kind of thing,
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah.
No, but
Type of
you know what I
thing, yeah.
mean. There's like sometimes like the announcer could just like really oversell it because there's like a personal connection to
Yeah.
that wrestler, you know. But I like what Taz does though. It's almost like he's kind of letting his son be his own person, you know, while obviously helping him out. I mean, because you know, at the end of the day, Taz is still a big name in wrestling.
Oh, of course.
Oh, there he
Yeah.
is. But he went to go get another piece of pizza, I think.
No, no, no.
So that's it. I would like to see where they're going with Hook. Like I get it that he's kind of like very nonchalant. I don't that careless, doesn't talk much.
Mhm.
But there's gonna have to be a point where it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, of course,
What he's
yes,
doing now is gonna end up getting old.
Like you got usually you had squash matches, and then you had a bit of a rivalry with QT Marshall,
Yeah.
and now you're trying to find something for him. So I guess you have this Danhausen. I guess maybe you build this as a first match for Danhausen. A few more segments in the coming up weeks of Danhausen trying to curse Hook, and Hook just not caring and just walking away. It's not working, and then maybe have this as Danhausen's first match.
But he would lose though. I don't see
Yeah,
him.
that's the
I don't see
problem also,
Danhausen going over. That's the thing. And it's like
Yeah, that's right.
he has a big enough following that at least his first match you would think is going to be
You
a
would think
win.
he's gonna win. Yeah, you're right. You're
You
right.
know,
And I don't
so-
think they'll make Hook lose right away. Yeah.
No, he's not going to lose right away.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't see it that way, but yeah, I agree with that. Well, guys, 2 hours and 30 minutes of recap of this
2:30.
Three.
No,
307.
3:07.
This
The amount of time we've been on. You see, John, you fell into Justin's trap. See, I was right. That's why. Jesus.
Oh, 2 hours and 30 minutes. All right.
it
Uh,
was
Damn it, John.
it was a Phil packed. It was a Phil packed week. We had WrestleMania. We talked.
That's
So I think we covered all the bases, and we did a good job of delivering the news and our opinions on this past week of wrestling to our listeners.
Yeah,
So,
and Jeff was here.
And we had a special guest. Yeah.
You're saying it. You're saying it like if there was something wrong that I was here. Are you trying to
Not at
insinuate
all.
something?
No insinuation on my part, good sir.
You're always
Always
welcome,
love
Jeff.
having you here.
Always.
Thank you.
All right. So let's have our host on the phone here. Bring us home.
All right. Well, that was your Sunday recap. Big week in wrestling. And of course, we will be giving you everything that goes on for Raw, AEW, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Rampage. And we have Battle of the Belts this Saturday, too. So it is going to be another jam-packed week. And we shall see what goes on. We'd like to thank you for watching, listening, wherever it may be. Guys, you guys have social medias. Where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook at SPN Podcast, on Twitter at WTN's Kid Crazy, and like I always say, please and thank you for leaving your comments on the WTN forum and the WTN wrestling page. Much appreciated, and more is always welcome.
You can follow me on Twitter at BigRed7819 or on my other podcast, the Big Red Podcast, where I interview or just talk about everything and anything. Or like Kid Crazy said, WTN Wrestling Talk Now, or on the forum where that's where I'll be actually. Yeah.
Well, I generally don't like being followed, but if you have to follow me on social media, it would be JT9783 on Twitter. I kind of go over anything, whether it would be video games and wrestling, so it's not a wide variety of topics. Yeah, that's where you can find
Boom.
me.
Well done, well done. And of course, you can follow me at JLB420 on Twitter. Real Talk Radio is the brand at Real Talk Radio 8, anchor.fm/RTR. Links will be all in the doobly-doos. I also got a link tree, so you can follow me. We're on all of those socials there. WTN Wrestling all around,
Excuse
across
me.
the board on the social boards, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything, WTN Wrestling. We are all there. So please like, share, subscribe on all social medias as we are there. And please comment. And thank you, everyone, for commenting as well on the live show. We always look forward to hearing your comments. Jeff, thank you, good sir, for coming on again. It is always entertaining when you're around, and we appreciate you as always. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much once again. And we will see you next Sunday as we do it all over again. But until next time, ciao for now.